Whole team shining, we stars, big dipping. Get a lot of haystack gang in the sip. Niggas ain't real, nigga. Nope. You gotta feel me, nigga. Yep. Smile in my face behind my back, you tryna kill me, nigga. Damn. You say you got beef, then what you wanna do? What? You screaming, fuck me, nah, nigga, fuck you. Bitch. You ain't hard at me. Nope. Couple kick dough, couple robberies. Nigga get extorted, get aborted, he don't pay the fee. Posted in the north, got the 2 to 4 recipe. I be cooking chicken, bitch, not talking rotisserie. I got all my hater, man, I know that they sick of me. Who the fuck he think he is, motherfucker MB3? Honestly, pay him no attention. They up under me. Haters call me Visa cause I'm everywhere they wanna be. Ladies, man, catch me with more honeys than a bumblebee. Say she got a husband, but she always wanna suck the D. State gang, true sipper, who these niggas wanna be. I've been getting money since a younger. I've been pushing peace, stay strapped. Gotta watch your back when you're in the streets. Friends turn to foes, never know who your enemy. I was in Detroit, he ain't keep the same energy. West side down the slide, I don't think he feeling me. I was on some demon time, nigga talking about killing me. They no business, let's see all that shit that you gon' do to me. Come outside, why you scared? I thought that you been a G. We don't bluff, we pulling up, we different down in Tennessee. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitted, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white square, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitted, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white square, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. I got an old school bitch, call her Aretha. Shawty so fine, shawty she a keeper. Smoke that reefer, preferred by the quarter. I do this for my kids, my sons and my daughter. Get treated like a king. Hoes call me sire. One look like Lotto, the other look like Maya. My plug, he ain't playing, he only talking them numbers. I cop it, whip it, and ship it. My money coming in bundles. Different flavors of kush, orange, grape, and apple. If a nigga try me, it's gonna be a disaster. Dope money and bitches, pimp robbers and snitches. It's all in my hood. My homies say that I'm gifted, I really can't complain. Shit starting to change, a product of my environment. Tell me who can I blame? Neck like a glacier, bought my shawty a bracelet. Money go get her, that's why these niggas be hating. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitted, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitted, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitted, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Riding through the city, I'm with it, I got my 9 o'clock. If it really fitted, let's get it, I got the game locked. Green and white squares, been serving them on the same block. Dime piece with me, she foreign, she come from Bangkok. Whole team shining, we stars, big dipper. Get a lot of haystack gang in the sip.
All right, y'all. We are hopping straight into it. I'm slick still watching the game too. Halftime just ended. It's 14-14, but we getting straight. We got a lot to catch up on, so I'm here. One song on hidden play. Sarah Boone, where we left off at earlier. New person was about to be called to the stand. So we got like 4 more hours left in this here live. Uh-oh, I didn't skip it far enough. Good grief. Well, this is going to take some of our watch time down. I ain't even mad about it. The YSL trial is on a standstill right now. That's the update. They didn't have court today. The judge is supposed to be deliberating on whether or not she wants a mistrial to happen. And she's saying with prejudice, though, because I don't know, but she's given if she grants the mistrial, it'll be that they have too much to retry the case. They would have to seat the jury and all of that by December something to retry them. If not, they got to let it go. But right now, they assume that Fannie Willis and them is trying to make deals with the remaining defendants since this trial has gone so poorly. Hopefully they could get out with some time served like YFN and Lucci did, but we'll see if there's a mistrial or if they take plea deals. Why you got your hand over your face? Hi, people. I'm still baffled as to why my Wi-Fi ain't working.
Those specific issues with the gallery, good afternoon. Those specific issues with the gallery, good afternoon.
We'll get it fixed one of these days. The clown ain't hit me up yet.
And not have any correspondence with yourself. This is your one and only opportunity. If you cannot control yourself, well, there are outbursts. I will ask you to act.
This judge here ain't playing no games. What the fuck? Well, y'all just still ain't ready.
You can pick up the phone, call her, get off the elevator, and head to the south side of the building. See the sign where it says Judge Michael Crane. It'll tell you which direction to go. You can pick up the phone, call my judicial assistant, Anita Barrios, and she can give you instructions on how to watch this trial virtually. Okay?
Oh, shit.
You,
damn, he was rude. That nigga rude in the motherfucker.
Thank you all for your patience. Ma'am in the back last row. Good afternoon. After conversing with the state and the defense, they've agreed and asked me to excuse you from this room. I understand that there may have been an outburst by you with courtroom personnel before the judge arrived on the bench this afternoon.
Oh, they put her out.
It is being streamed live. You can head to the 12th floor, get off the elevator, and head to the south side of the building. See the sign where it says Judge Michael Crane. It'll tell you which direction to go. You can pick up the phone, call my judicial assistant, Anita Barrios, and she can give you instructions on how to watch this trial virtually. Okay?
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Damn.
So we gotta work together and try to figure it out.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. To restate the court's prior positions, if there's anyone going to have any outbursts or cannot control themselves again,
hey, come
I'm going to
correct.
ask you to remove yourselves at this time. State, are we ready to bring in our jury? Yes, defense, we're ready to bring in our jury. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our family.
Jeez. Judge getting them up out of there.
Yes, defense, you recognize our jury. By the state this afternoon, we may have to work after 5 o'clock, possibly between 5:30 and 6. As I recall, speaking with some of you, you have minor children and may need have those concerns. Okay, juror in first row, third seat from the right. Yes, ma'am.
As long as we get a break between now and then, and I can call someone, it should be fine.
I would absolutely give you that opportunity right now to your ability to listen.
Yeah, damn. Now they calling babysitters and shit. Okay, so we might not have a full 4 hours. There we go. Finally. Yeah, they said he was 5'2", 106 pounds. I see how he fit in there too. He was a mini me.
Good afternoon. Can you state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, it's Chelsea Capsule. CHELEYKOEPSELL.
Thank you. You may work. Good afternoon, ma'am. What do you work for?
The Orange County Sheriff's Office.
And what is your position with the Orange County Sheriff's Office?
I'm currently a homicide cold case detective.
How long have you worked for the Orange County Sheriff's Office?
Since April of 2015.
She cute.
And what positions have you held at the Orange County Sheriff's Office during that time?
So I began my career in uniform patrol, and then I moved on to the sex crimes unit.
Damn it, I meant to put us in the vertical.
Homicide unit as a detective.
In the homicide unit, tell us, what are your duties as a homicide detective?
Respond to obviously homicides and any death-related incidents.
And what type of
training do you need to hold that position?
So I went to the police academy, and then after going to the police academy, I became a deputy, and then basically just having experience from other units and taking like homicide courses and investigative courses to help me.
Is continuing training a condition of not only your employment, but also holding your position in homicide?
Yes.
How is it that you became involved in this case?
So on February 24th of 2020, my partner at the time, Detective Scott Lowen, received a call. Our team in the homicide unit, there's 3 teams that have 4 detectives on each team with a supervisor, and then we have 1 sergeant. And so on that date, Detective Scott Lowen was basically screening calls for that day, and we were at the office, and he told me about the call.
Are all homicide investigations work in tandem with another detective?
Typically, yeah, we normally always have a partner with us.
Tell us, why is it that we do that?
Well, honestly, it's more for court purposes if I were to be able to be in court. But it's also nice to just have someone else's perspective and training. We all come from different backgrounds, so it just kind of helps the investigation.
Once you received the call on this case, where was the first place that yourself and Detective Lowen went to?
We responded to the scene.
And when you say the scene, is that 4748 transport?
Yes, I believe so.
And when you responded to the scene, who did you make contact with first there?
The first person I made contact with was Deputy Kayla Rodriguez.
And was Deputy Rodriguez able to convey you certain information at that time?
Yeah, she explained to me what had been said to her and basically what they have done.
And this location that you responded to, was the defendant present there at that time as well?
Yes, she was. She was outside.
And did you make contact with her?
Yes, I did.
During that time that you were initially there at the scene, did you walk the scene with the crime scene investigator in this case?
Yes, I did.
And when you walked the scene, just tell us some of your observations.
I'm looking at the game.
So when you first enter, immediately on the right, there's like a kitchen. And then if you continue down like a very small short hallway, it opens up to the living room / dining room area. And so when I entered, I could see the victim, George Flores, laying on the ground next to a blue suitcase.
Did you work with the crime scene investigator to identify potential pieces of evidence for collection?
Yes, I did.
Did you also have an opportunity?
Hey, Felicia. Hey, Leah. Hey, Meryl.
At that time?
Yes, I did.
They got a come correct. They got an arrest video of him. I think that happened a month or so before he died. I think he was drunk when he got arrested.
That states T and it states U and then you go next. Good night. We have a shooting who's been marked by identification first that states T. Can you tell me, do you recognize what that item is?
Yes, I do.
Tell us, what is that item?
This is the first part of the interview that I conducted with Sarah Boone on the scene.
And did you have an opportunity?
Oh, that was the
to review
detective. She fine.
Yes, I did.
And that is fairly accurately represents the conversation that took place between you and the defendant on February 24th, 2020.
Yes, the first.
Hey, Melissa.
And is that your initials on the disc as well?
Yes, sir.
This time, Boone was previously been marked for identification as states T into evidence.
Thank you, Judge. All right, what was pre-marked as states T will be received without objection. This states Exhibit 18.
Other than, I may make previous objection, other than protocol issues.
Yes, sir.
Damn, that was a great kid.
Ma'am, next I'm showing you what's been marked for identification as states U.
D Brooks out there trolling you doing. The Lions better win.
This is the second part of the interview with Sarah Boone on the scene. Correct.
and you had an opportunity to review that disc prior to coming to board today?
Yes, it is.
And does that disc fairly and accurately represent the second part of that interview that you conducted with Sarah Boone?
Yes, sir.
And is that your initials on the disc as well?
Yes.
During this time, I'd like to move what's previously been marked for identification as states you into evidence.
Any objections? No objection. What was pre-marked as states you will be received without objection as states 19.
Your Honor, request permission to publish.
You may do so.
You want to bet on the game, E. Brooks? Memphis versus Detroit. I mean, Tennessee, whatever. The Tennessee versus Detroit, you want to bet? Put your wager down. Because y'all too cocky right now. And we ain't got nothing to lose but another game.
Today's date is February 24th, 2020, and that's approximately 16:57 hours. This is in reference to Orange County case number 20-017-904. I'm currently located in my unmarked vehicle out in front of 4748 Grant Lane, apartment number 3 in Winter Park, the Tealwood Park Apartments. And also accompanying my partner. And in the front seat is, can you see your name? Sarah Boone. Okay, and number 10-10-7-7. You have deputies. I know we have a brief conversation. Just to reiterate.
Why are they playing it?
Like I was explaining, I would like to get a more further understanding of what happened last night and some more detailed questions.
See, now I hate we watched the interrogation and shit.
You're right, but it's just because that's how we do things. Okay. You do have to remain silent. Okay, you understand that? Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to the lawyer before answering the question.
Yeah, they're using it against you in court, dumbass. That's why you should have shut up.
Do you understand what's further? Yes. Okay. So last night you said that you and your friend George were here at your residence and didn't really leave that day. You said that he went to the store to buy cigarettes. Yeah. What time was that around? If you recall, was it like still like so still like okay. But he's the only person that left, and then he came back. Yes, I'm assuming. Okay. It's right on the street. It's down the street. Okay. And what you guys were doing next? Like what was happening? We had a bottle of wine. We painted. We drilled. We did puzzles. Do you remember what wine you guys were drinking? What Chardonnay? Okay. The bottles are in the trash. Okay. Chardonnay. And do you remember like what time this was that you guys were sharing the bottle of wine, painting, doing puzzles? We're saying 4-ish. Before we went to the store after. I'm sorry, had you ever gotten home from the store at this point to buy cigarettes? Yes. Okay. So it was around 4 p.m. that you realized you guys were doing a puzzle on listening to music, enjoying each other's company. And all downstairs, upstairs, or downstairs? Okay. We just saw that much because we smoked bombs besides that. Okay. And what was your last name? Was it just a two? Yep. Okay. No one ever feel like the point? No. Okay. We talked about our response time. Just well, just enjoying my house coming. Okay. And you can share the bomb and the correct. Right. The bomb's located in there and you can okay. So tell me what happens next. You're painting, you're making this puzzle together, you obviously finish a bottle of wine. You have 2 bottles of wine. Oh, we have one previously.
Whole damn interrogation. Hey, Carla.
So you finish up and then you have the full one. Yes. And so what's the question? People would choose, you have to stop the bottle of wine and then we'll have one, we have the bottle of wine while we're having 2 hours to pass. And we were up we were hanging out. So being silly, let's play on the stage, which we got played in score. Like I don't know if you've opened the door on top of the stairwell, like he got hit in there before, like just having fun and enjoying each other's company.
Okay, so, I mean, that's literally not lost. The suitcase is downstairs because I was telling you, we were going to donations.
Are they about to play this whole damn interrogation? Because if so, we didn't heard this.
The suitcase, I mean, that's where his little fingers were, whatever, but still having a good time and whatever. Then I decided to go upstairs, and I don't know, I fell asleep. So did you look
I think they're playing the whole damn interrogation. We skipping it.
started playing?
We don't need it. Heard it already.
With an reference to Orange County case number 20-017-904. My name is Paul, and we can no longer record. But I'm in my unmarked agency vehicle with, can you state your name now? Sarah Boone. And my partner, Detective Scott Blowing. We are outside.
And I hadn't heard
my
this one.
agency vehicle outside of 4748 Branks Lane, number 3, in Winterford. Collecting a statement from.
Now, I hadn't heard this
Okay,
one.
Sarah,
This her. So this what they're about to play is her initial statement before they called her down to the police station. Hadn't heard that one yet.
Scott was able to say the time that it stopped prior. We have not talked anything further. Not correct. Okay. And you do understand that you don't have to speak with me if you don't want to, correct? Yes. Okay. All right. So I think I asked you, my last question was, I'm not sure if you may have answered or not, but my last question was, you guys were just playing to have fun, and it wasn't like a scene right for like sex, or just over. Okay. But did you say that you guys spend every single night?
No, not every single night.
Okay. Did you think it was gonna happen last night?
Yeah.
Talk about it, or you just
No.
assumed like no problem?
Yes.
Okay.
Which normally I would do a little on our weekends.
Okay.
We were just having a good time.
Okay.
Just enjoying each other's company.
And so,
With dogs.
at any point, when he was in the suitcase, did you hear him say, please let me out? Was he?
We were laughing about
Yeah. Okay. Did you make any jokes about it? Because then you just said that you were left upstairs and he didn't come find you. Did you make any jokes about, well, in the suitcase?
No.
Okay. But understanding the game was over, like you guys weren't gonna play, you weren't gonna continue to play hide anymore. That you went upstairs and into the room, right? Went to bed. Okay. And did you lay down?
Yes. The dogs got in the bed.
You guys sleep together in the room every single night?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And which side of the bed do you sleep on?
So,
Like if
it's okay, here's the, I'm on one side, on the right hand side, because I've got these pictures over here, these guys get pictures over here.
okay, so you go towards the wall, closer to the, are you closer to the door to exit your room, or is he closer?
Yes.
Okay. So where the pictures of Lucas are on that side, that's your side. Okay. And is that how you slept last night? Did you sleep in the middle of the bed? Did you sleep right your side of the bed?
On my side.
Your side? Okay. And I noticed there's like one pillow on the bed, and there were like 3 up against the closet. Are those pillows? Did you bring them to the bed? Or
No, when I normally do it, because the nice bed, so this is nice. But I'll make the bed. So clean the mouth cage. And then go downstairs.
Okay.
So like, what I'm saying is that normally I'll fix it up upstairs and then I'll head downstairs.
Okay.
That's why I was over here, because I was trying to get something better.
Okay. Were they in the bed prior? Like when you went to sleep, how many pillows were in your bed?
We only have 2.
You 2.
Okay. Well, the 2 white ones. When we watch movies,
Mm-hmm.
we'll put behind them. Like, the third pillow just goes under everybody else.
Okay. Do you use one pillow to sleep, or do you each have one, right? Is that what you said? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you just basically did that make it bed. Is my two. Those are against the. There's like 3 threads against the. They're like standing. Yeah.
They all close off, and I'll shake on the and then everything back together.
Okay. Okay. And did he say anything to you while he was in the suitcase? I know you guys were laughing, joking, but
were, was any jokes made with any of that? No, okay, negative or like, anything that you said.
Oh, wait. This is her initial statement. She must forgot she recorded that damn video.
And I made more upstairs.
Did you tell them you're going upstairs or?
No, I'm not. I was upstairs to leave right now. Was it all gone at this point while you guys were playing hide and seek? Think so? Okay. Is it at that point? I mean, I don't know how often you drink, but would you say that you were under the influence and he was under the influence, or? Well, I mean, we weren't from.
Hit the Cash App,
Okay. We weren't from.
hit the PayPal, hit the Super Chat, join the membership, buy an album.
So I mean, we weren't like inebriated where he was still, I mean, we were conscientious, that's what I'll say. We were both conscientious. Okay.
That's just like, no,
Yeah, I don't know if that would be. I think we were conscious about ourselves. Okay. That's why we have our home.
this is such a question for at your home, it's something adults, if you're drinking, say you were from, you're the wrong person. You're at home.
Neither one of us were drunk. We were just
I'm just
at the legal age.
so,
That's what it was. Listening to music again is what it was. Okay. Well, let's say we split up all our local show us a dog coffee as well too. So, you know, we have that as well. Okay, so there was no ill will between the two of us. Yeah. But when's the last time you guys talked about it? Maybe last week. Okay. Over normal relationship stuff, or it's a little bit of everything because we have something about jobs. Right. It's been extremely aggressive for him when he worked up here. It used to be an ace hard, but ace dropped. Then sometimes it's a store started out, and he literally enjoyed his job. But between stuff like that, and then of course we got the bills that we have to pay, and I don't have to ask Brian, my former husband, for money to pay for electricity and.
Damn, she just telling all they business. You know she gets it. She done brought in borrowing money from her ex-husband. Shit, the Rams just scored. 21-17.
Normally, are you not completely? Sometimes he has to there. He would just have to come home and see me because he knows that I'm going to be better. And then most of the time he would go for. And he would sit on the back porch. He would tell me about his day. And we would have a glass of wine and then kind of start a meeting-ish kind of thing. And so, but then he would go outside and turn me outside. And then that's when we started to do the fire vehicles. And then listen to music. And like the song. And it's is there anything he's drinking specifically, like his go-to drink, or just honestly whatever is being afforded, which is what we used to drink, like months ago, right? Which is why we okay.
What you guys think to do about it?
He made a pork sandwich with cheese. And
A pork sandwich with cheese. If that ain't some Mexican shit, the cheese is black people though.
yes. Like a sandwich, like a deli sandwich, like deli meat sandwich, or just you get pork. Yeah, I'm just thinking. I had pork on it. And I love it. So he had that. He made a pork sandwich with cheese, and I had mine with ham sandwich.
Does he not wake up better? So he gets the typical back thing where he's downstairs and he'll fall asleep on the couch.
I mean, he's been out before because of his crappy day that he had. Yeah, we sleep in the same bed. You normally sleep. Yes. Do you guys go to bed?
Black folk did it first.
Most of the time, yes. But because he's been very excited about looking for a job, he might stay downstairs for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then we'll come upstairs and he and I will watch movies together. Until it's just okay, they're not If no more movies I want to watch. And then we just turn the lights on and go to sleep.
Last night, when, you said you went upstairs, did you have like a ritual that you do prior to going to bed? Did you brush your teeth, wash your face, put on TV? Is there any like normal things that you do?
Me and myself.
She just hopped in the bed.
I'll go upstairs, maybe like bring time out that with Listerine.
Okay. Do you recall what you did last night?
I just got all the dogs.
Okay.
Waiting for them.
And how long do you think you were up waiting for him until you passed out?
I don't say it's really knocked out. Yeah, he knows too that I'll go upstairs sometimes because of how tired I am,
Mm-hmm.
which is why he'll just be in my face a little bit. Maybe I'll watch a show and he'll come upstairs. So, we might have to be working.
No, I know, but last night, how long do you think it was prior to you falling asleep? Like, how long did you wait up?
Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, I literally get the dogs. One of the dogs wait for him. Okay. I need dogs to be on. Strap him up. He has to. I would go upstairs. He doesn't know how. Yes, like I'm mentally exhausted. So.
Who usually get that first? I mean, are you ever like, is she in the direction? You just don't know the answer?
Yeah, he has to be at work at 8 o'clock, so he'll usually wake up at like 6:30-ish. I don't have to miss.
How long is he going to work?
Maybe. Well, he did some odd stuff up there. But I think his last thing was like Friday 2 weeks ago.
So you have to work 10 months a week.
Yeah.
And during that 2 week period, is he maintained just about actually wakes up or just?
Yes, this is my mom.
So, what time is that normally?
6:30, 6:45-ish right now. Let me see, I'll get my team in school, so we're at like 6:30. I feel really weird, guys. Like, I feel really weird. Just.
Any food?
You're gonna go outside. The mic will be taken care of, so.
Or just letting her talk herself into
I'll
a mission.
You slap out and then I'll use the laptop afterwards.
So when you woke up this morning, so that you were there, that he wasn't there. Wait, you went up this morning, oh, where's George? You woke up, George got up, like, you normally that's just 1 minute.
And it's not there's a laptop on the jobs.
You could make a comment earlier that he's losing his team.
Yeah.
What is
I think that's, I don't know, I think that's one of the things subconsciously that has been really on his mind also, is that he's losing his teeth. Like, he just looked like he lost a whole molar or something like that while we're eating. And then he kept coming up on his chest, and I'm blaming it on stress.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the teeth thing is. I know it can't be a good sign.
You said he got into, you said in the parking lot, he had a bunch of facial injuries where he had reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
So he was going to
Yes.
this one.
Oh my gosh, it was horrific. Yeah.
Was it, I mean, usually when you have that much damage, it's more than just a stress, like his brother did it or something.
No, wait till you guys see Mo. Mo is a gorilla. He's
It is probably bad for causing the teeth to get messed up.
Did they have to do work on his teeth or his jaw?
just bad.
Just a horrible sockets.
Yeah. Well, my face is nose too.
Now, the damage to his eyes, is that still, I mean, is it noticeable or?
No.
Okay, when they fixed the sockets, they came back and you could tell that they had damage.
But his children, right, what they say he doesn't look like he's staying down. But to me,
No other damage to the jaw, forehead, anything like that?
it was just an eye.
You said he's been running adjustments.
He had mentioned it a couple times, where I was like, stress, but I'm the person with or without money, go to a lot of money. You will make sure they have the see thing has been worrying me also. I haven't seen anything to that. But the day that she comes out.
She giving them all the motive in the world.
His dietary habits been like he looks super thin and healthy, but he does not look like he's an average.
He eats, believe it or not, like a horse. Like he'll eat like 4 or 5 times a day. But again, one of the things
Jorge within the motherfucker.
first people that I have to take this to is his weight for the amount of food that he eats throughout the day. How he doesn't gain any weight. He and I just go out to Alex and we're trying to step on the scale, and he continuously loses weight. Well, how do you want to step on the scale anymore? Months.
So maybe before losing his job.
Yes. They spent, I don't know how many months, I would say at least a year. And he eats like a horse.
And you said you don't know anything like this for him?
With him, I know him, he's never done drugs. But I know him growing up in Philadelphia. He had a bad sense with marijuana and alcohol. And when you talk to his children and his ex-wife, she will tell you. His family will tell you. But since he's been with me, no, I thought.
She cleaned him up. He just drinks now. He stopped smoking.
Your phone is protected or touch screen? Does George know password as well?
He doesn't know the code, but he does the face thing.
His face will recognize him. Okay.
And the only reason why I have that is because I lost 2 phones previously where I can't. Before I had a passcode was somebody else being able to get into my phone and lost the phone. So that's the only reason why I have it.
Oh, like that's receiving the password on it, see if she lost or something. Okay, so do you recall what time you went to bed?
This is a pretty basic interview.
Okay. Why? How do you know that? Like, what makes you remember that?
Because I walked up the stairwell and we have a clock that's on top.
Like, you see it walking up the stairwell?
You have to turn the corner and it's right there.
Okay. And you don't remember when you went into the shower around what time it was, looking at that same clock?
I didn't shower. I had a shower earlier in the day.
No, when you said you get in the shower.
Yeah.
Did you happen to look at that clock then and see what time it was?
No, I just happened to look up on my way.
Going to bed? Or going into the room?
Yes.
Okay, so it's after midnight. Do you think it was before 1 a.m. Was it between midnight and 1? Or?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, if I have to say, it was like 12:30-ish.
Okay.
Thank you for the $10 cash app.
Okay. And when you went upstairs, you and George were no longer having a conversation, laughing about the suitcase. You just decided to go upstairs.
No, we were laughing about it.
Okay, so you continue to joke about it as we're going upstairs.
Thank you, Sister Avanti. $10 coming on the cash app. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20. But thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
And again, I'm going to use those on the laptop this morning. Because we have for most of the time.
When you put him in or when he got in the suitcase. So the suitcase now, if we're looking at it, what side was his head on? When he got into the suitcase and you said it, was his head like on the, if we're looking at it,
It's over here. The hole over here.
so his head was closer to where,
Yeah.
like when you close it, his head was closer to where it closed.
No, that's where his head here. This is him doing the finger thing. Over here.
Right, so to where you can close it. So when you close it, it's kind of
You thought there was white people, Melissa. White people don't put no cheese in their macaroni.
Squeeze it open, and then when it's shut, and it's obviously the opposite side. So you do this, and we're here where the zip part was. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you think is important for us to know that we haven't asked you? I don't know what.
Yeah, I hit this nigga with a bat. I pushed the suitcase down the steps.
I don't know what, you have like a heart attack or an aneurysm or what. I don't know what happened.
Do you keep your phone on you? Like, is it always in your possession?
No. Because it's a community card that Canadian has, and she needs it. Most of the time it's on each time. Okay. Where it's like, that's for my phone, and it's for, hey, after you're on my list, you might have to call my phone. So it's
Right.
It's our phone.
No, it's,
I know I don't walk around with my phone on me all the time.
okay. Did you bring it upstairs with you when you went, when you were going to bed? No.
She looked like a lesbian in her prison photos.
Yes, it's not there's time. Heard my phone ringing, and I knew it was Brian. He called over and over and over and over again, which is what he does.
So you assumed it was him, but you didn't know Brian was calling you, but you assumed it was Brian.
Yes, because he calls. Okay. I actually got the answer.
Okay, so your phone was downstairs. Can you raise your hand? Do you promise to swear everything we talked about has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes. Okay. But may I ask you though? Because I was trying to guess that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I'm afraid for my life at this point.
But I don't know anything about your history. Like, I don't know, other than the family not liking you. Like,
I think that's because of the drinking. And it's just the things that with the doctor and I know that they don't want him to be with me, but he and
are they gonna tell me that he's an alcoholic? Are they gonna tell me that you're an alcoholic?
they'll say that, but they don't know. They assume
Okay. Why did they say that he's an alcoholic?
because of his track record in Philadelphia and all of the things.
They'll say I'm an alcoholic, but they just assuming they don't know.
He's been divorced twice. But, and he has. Yes, they'll say that.
Okay.
They'll say that. But they don't know. They just don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, people have their opinions. Okay, you can't not. There's nothing you can do about someone having an opinion and saying something like that. As far as what's going on here, I told you, prior, we don't know what happened. So I understand you feel like they're gonna not accept, what happened and they're gonna think that it's your fault, but at this time, we cannot conclude and say anything differently. I know we talked about you probably going somewhere else this night. You have to do what you have to do to keep yourself safe, but at this point in time, no one has made a threat to you. No one has done anything. Right, but we will obviously talk to them, and of course, we're gonna instruct them that this is an ongoing investigation. Well, your son's with Brian, stay with Brian. So we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it. I know you're fearful of it now, but nothing has happened to where you're in fear based off of past history and what they think you're doing has to be all the time. Do you have proof or is it all verbal? Like in your phone?
No, it's verbal.
Okay.
It's verbal.
So it's he said versus she said, or she said versus she said.
Yeah, they've been really nice to me. Right.
It's gonna be shock. It's gonna be that everyone handles things differently. We're not gonna leave there with them moving and hollering and starting to laugh stuff, and then they're all coming here. Okay. Who's gonna collapse? I don't even know his mom. His mom. What's his mom's name?
Well,
Is that her government name or is that just what you call her?
no, I think that's what happened.
And you said she lived in
Yeah. never done street.
When's the last time you said he doesn't even talk to his family because he chose you over them. So when's the last time you see him on the smartphone?
He did something with his brothers a couple of weeks ago, but I don't know.
Right. So he goes over there. You do not go.
No.
But he did something with his brothers
I guess he saw him that they have to his job all the time.
when he was working.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have come over here and it's just been completely disrespectful.
Right.
Again, she ended up having to tell that, don't come over here if you're not going to choose it.
You know their address.
I have to decide on that small hall boulevard, but if you go down, the place is out here. Go around, there's a twisty tree ice cream place on the right hand side, and you turn down that road. And then you make a left, and you'll see my home. You make a right, and their house is white, and it's then it's got a whole bunch of flowers.
I'm gonna end my recording. Is that okay?
One quick question, just out of curiosity, I've never seen your front door. They have a bunch of tents. What is that from?
When you move in, they're already there.
It's not any other doors we've done sometime.
Whoever it was that lives here previously, I know it was a girl, but that's the one we did that.
This is recording 17.
You lying about the man family then. You ain't got to worry about him getting you in jail.
While you were on the scene on February 24th, did you also make contact with Brian Boone?
Yes, before I spoke to Sarah, yes.
And did you have an opportunity to interview him?
Yes, I did.
While on scene, did you also begin the process of examining Bennett's cell phone?
I did not examine it myself, but we have a waivers and affidavits form and that has a consent portion on it. And so I did start doing the work for that.
You obtained consent from the defendant in this case?
Yes, on scene to search through her cell phone.
And what time did you become aware of the videos on her cell phone?
So a digital forensic investigator responded out to the scene, and she responded out a little after 7 p.m. And I would assume she probably started doing, whatever she needed to do. And then a short time later, she came over and got my attention and expressed to me that I needed to look at something in her phone.
And these were Suitcase videos, correct?
Yeah, they were two separate videos from the night prior.
When you observed these videos, what actions did you take?
When I observed the videos, I directed the digital investigator to stop processing and downloading her phone any further, and that I was going to write a search warrant for her cell phone.
Did you obtain that search warrant for her cell phone?
Yes, it was signed by a judge the next day.
And when she was obviously able to finish the digital analysis, correct?
Yeah, she was able to get the full download as well. She had already gotten the videos downloaded the night prior, but she was able to do whatever she does to get full download.
In the course of your interview with the defendant, you were relaying information that I guess she had gone to Publix the previous day. Is that correct?
In the interview?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm sorry. In the interview that we just listened to about going to Publix?
In the course of speaking with her, did you learn that she had gone to Publix?
Yes, I was under the impression that that George had gone to Publix.
Did you follow up with that Publix for surveillance video in this case?
Yes, I went to the Publix to gather surveillance video.
And were you able to find that video of them at Publix the previous day?
Yes.
Your Honor, request permission to publish states too.
You may.
I'm first going to show you the video taken from Publix on February 23rd, 2020 at approximately 12:15 p.m.
Why we need to see him buying the liquor?
When using the license plate, could you please identify the victim and defendant on this video? This video.
Oh, okay, about the Publix video.
For us in this video. Is that?
Yes,
And did you have an opportunity to also interview their neighbors as well?
yes, I did.
Did you interview Juan Torres?
Yes, the following day.
And did you attend the autopsy?
Yes, the following morning.
Your Honor, may I approach with the defense?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
The presentation is going to be kind of long. We're going to go ahead and take our afternoon break at this point in time. Similar instruction I've given you over the last couple of days. Please don't have any discussions. Please. You all may be seated. State anything we need to address? No. Defense. All right, we'll be in recess for 15 minutes. Thank you.
All right. So they're
The
going
court's
to
ruling previously still remains defense.
My standing information, so we anticipate, you know.
Okay, excellent. All right. Anything else we need to address then before we bring back in our panel? State, no, state defense. All right, let's stand and bring back in our panel.
Yeah, what video are they showing now?
Yes. All right, thank you. You all can be seated. Members of the jury, again, if you could just raise your hands to comply, confirm you comply with the court's instructions. Record reflect all hands raised.
On February 25th of 2020, did you set up a follow-up interview with the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And that was after you had attended the autopsy that morning, correct?
The interview, the follow-up interview was to be conducted after the autopsy, not necessarily set up, but it was to be conducted after the autopsy.
I apologize if I misspoke on that. Was that interview recorded?
Yes, it was, audio and video.
And where did that interview take place?
Central operations at the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Your Honor, the approach to the witness was remarked by identification that states absent shown to the defense.
You may.
I'm showing you was remarked by identification that states absent. Tell me, do you recognize that disc?
Yes,
Tell us, what is this disc?
this is the follow-up interview conducted on February 25th, 2020 at Orange County Central Operations with the defendant there.
Does it fairly and accurately represent the interview that took place between yourself and the defendant?
Yes,
Is that your initials on this disc?
it is, yes.
And you had an opportunity to review it prior to before today.
Yes.
Your Honor, the sound who was remarked by identification that states absent evidence.
The only objection is from the previous pretrial issues. The state will, court will receive an evidence that was pre-marked. The state's asked over objection as states exhibit 20.
Your Honor, should publish.
Momentarily. Members of the jury, I have an instruction to read to you before the exhibit 20 is published to you. Members of the jury, you are about to view and listen to a video recording. The court instructs you that the recording has been edited to eliminate irrelevant portions that would not add to your understanding of the case. The fact that the recording has been edited should not concern you in any way and must not impact the way you view, listen to, and consider this evidence.
Sure. So obviously, you're seeing that topic. So I'm going to review your rights again because we have to talk about that and talking about, and then we have to do it. Just like we get right with your rights, all right? Just the exact same thing, because I'm asking you follow-up questions and you're going to do it. Okay. So you have the right to make that. You need to be in court. You're going to have the right to during question without charge. If you cannot afford to learn, let me be provided for you for a question without charge. And then I've written your promise you to get your talk to. Thank you. Okay. So I started my test, and we were informed of some injuries that he had by the doctor. So I want so he got shot marks. I know that. Okay. And it's called a contusion, you know what a contusion is? So like basically you're gonna hit it and you get a mark from it, you'll get bruising. Like someone hit you or something like that, it's called a contusion. So he had some injuries to the left shoulder. He had cut near his like leg. You can see his mouth is a little okay. I fell off my friend's bike. Okay, so I know. And he's really worried for running into the wall. Or the wall to the wall. Okay, I don't know what about this. And there's also that okay. There's also like a scratch on like the back of his neck. Like kind of like going, but it's like going straight across. I think I know and they're all recent. They occurred recently. It wasn't something that I proposed or like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They haven't occurred, the night ago. So I was, we have not. Okay, right. The only thing I'm not doing now, which I'm doing anyway. Everything else, no, but nonetheless, so recently there's one of the last my right is that like up Tuesday. Last I don't know Tuesday. But that's because they're not sleeping at all. Oh, we're not Sunday. We're starting on whatever Sunday. And like I said, the injuries they occurred within that time period. So you're talking about Sunday being into Monday. You all just getting at once. So but the incident you guys were painting and
yeah, so I think this is the entire interrogation over again. Unintentional. Yeah, she's talking about him killing her. Let's see.
Like, no, maybe not.
I think
that's not even something that's been
true.
Hi, y'all.
Today on the document, I just forgot to raise the hands for my knowledge.
We started. All right, we can start on day 3. We're gonna get caught up quick.
Judge, can we proceed? Yes.
And you approach the bench. Silent.
I need to read to you at this time.
Did all
Yes, we did.
did all of these events you testified to in regards to your investigation, did they all occur in Orlando, Orange County, Florida?
Yes, we did.
And ma'am, do you see the person today here in court who admitted to zipping up George Torres in the suitcase?
Yes, I do.
Do you see the person today here in court whose voice you heard on the suitcase video taunting George Torres?
Yes.
Do you see the person here today in court who admitted to you flipping George Torres while he was in the suitcase?
Yes, I do.
And do you see the person today here in court who admitted going to bed while George Torres continued to suffer in the suitcase?
Yes, I do.
Could you please identify that person by an article of clothing they're wearing?
Yes, she's at the defense table in black and I guess a pinkish top.
Your Honor, may the record reflect witnesses identify the defendant? Record will so reflect. No further questions at this time.
Members of the jury, it is 5:59. Trying to get you out of here before 6. We will continue with the balance of the state's presentation tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to give you another instruction similar to what I've read you previously.
All right, we're going to day 3. Sarah Boone testified.
She's gonna testify?
Yeah, she testified on her own behalf.
Crazy. Nutcase.
Ma'am, good morning. Can you state your full name and date of birth for the record, please? Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table wearing a black blazer and a dark blue blouse. He is in custody. However, he is not in any restraints, so we will continue to stand while we bring back in our panel.
For October 4th, I believe the defense provided with the body worn camera 911 calls from prior incidents. And there was a request made to tell us what, if anything, should be redacted from the point of view so that they could reach an agreement or use the court resources to decide any conflicts in those issues. Yesterday morning was the first actual response I got from the defense team, and it was incomplete. It was about 3 of the 5 incidents. I do agree with
10:18.
and that there was some sort of discussion happening. Yeah, where it comes to talking about that. It is
Don't care about that argument.
917. Their request on that one was the 911 call that we with
Come on. Well, I'm not mad at that. We couldn't have
Those
done
narrowed down records has not yet been provided. What say the defense?
We already 48 minutes into this
State any
9
other
hour.
issues we need to talk about that?
So I know the first hour is always be like this. She back.
Before we begin, can you state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Chelsea Kessel, Chelsey, Kopsel.
Mr. Castro, you may proceed.
You're going to be an attended witness to the defense.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Henderson, you may proceed with any cross-examination.
That's my understanding that on February 24th, 2020, you responded to the crime scene, is that correct?
Yes.
Were you the first officer to respond to the crime scene?
No.
So there were other officers who were there prior to you arriving, is that correct?
Yes.
Were you the first detective to respond to the crime scene?
Myself and my partner, we all arrived at the same time because we left from the same location at the same time.
Who's your partner?
Detective Scott Lowe.
And throughout the whole time, you and Detective Lowen worked on this case together, is that correct?
Yes, he assisted me with this case.
Now, when you arrived on the 24th, approximately how many other officers were there?
Including like deputy sheriffs, like in uniform?
Yes.
Yes. Approximately 4, maybe, I would assume.
Had it been designated a crime scene at that time, and had or security measures been taken to protect the scene?
Yes, yeah.
So that had already been done by the time that you were separate.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, in the investigation, what are your, or what you're trying to accomplish in the investigation is basically the basics of what took place. Would you agree with me there?
Yes, I would.
All right. And you can do that one of 2 ways, or a combination of ways. One is to take testimony of potential witnesses. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right. This day, did you in fact do that?
Yes, I did.
And one of those potential witnesses was last Sunday. Is that correct?
Yes, it was.
And you took a stand. We all see it. Is that correct?
Yes, we have.
And at that point in time, Mr.
Boone did not have to talk to you. She didn't want to finish.
No, she didn't.
The defense lawyer talking lower hell.
Yes, she did.
Were there any other witnesses
Hey,
besides
Vonnie.
Ms. Boone that you talked to on this initial date, the 24th?
Just Brandon.
I'm 10 minutes
Mr.
behind,
Boone
but
told
hey,
you what? You had a chance to talk to him. He told you his involvement. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And in fact, was it Mr. Boone's testimony? Was that recorded to you?
We conducted an audio recording, yes.
Is that standard procedure when you do your interviews to try to record the interviews?
Yes.
What's the benefit of that?
So I noticed that.
And if something goes on for a long time, you can refer back to it. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So, and out there, that part of talking to witnesses or potential witnesses. Okay. Also, it's your job too to identify potential physical evidence in the case.
Yes, it is.
And in fact, on the 24th, did you do that?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you have anyone assisting you in doing that aspect of it?
Yes, crime scene investigators and digital forensic investigator.
All right. And was Ms. Melissa Rockengarden? That's how it's pronounced it for me.
Rough Garden.
Okay, thank you. Did she help you in that area?
She was the lead crime scene investigator, yes.
Okay. So were y'all walking around together? Get the jury mind how that process takes place, please.
So yes, when I initially arrived on scene, I introduced myself to Sarah Boone and explained that I wished to come inside her residence, which she gave me consent to go in and look around. I went in, looked around, and then when my CSIs arrived, they would go in, take pictures, and then I kind of leave them to do what they need to do as far as taking pictures and documenting things and measurements. And then that's when I conducted my interviews. And then I would meet back up with my crime scene investigator after interviews were conducted to kind of follow up with like things that I was told that would help us like identify things from the scene. And so, I mean, there was like multiple occasions where I would have met with my crime scene investigator inside the residence.
So this is an ongoing process. You get information, you consult with them, they have information, they consult with you, and you're making a determination of what potential physical evidence that you always like to document by camera, correct? Or actually collect and take a look. Is that correct?
Yes, that's accurate.
In that case, the suitcase was some evidence that y'all agreed on that we need to take this suitcase from the scene. Is that correct?
Yes, it was.
How about the baseball bat? Was that done that day?
The baseball bat was collected, yes.
In your viewing of the suitcase, did you see the suitcase while it was unseen?
Yes, I did.
Did you notice that if there was any items, other independent loose items in the suitcase?
They were, yes.
Were those items collected?
Some of them were, yes.
Who made the determination what items of that suitcase would be taken or collected and what would not be collected?
I would say that I have the final say on what is to be collected or not collected. But we do discuss it together to make that determination for me to give the final yes or no.
Do you recall which items you decided to collect from the suitcase?
Do you have the property form that I can refer to?
No, I'm trying to find.
I know some of them, but.
Ma'am, I don't have it, but to the best of your memory, can you tell? And I would understand it would be some stuff that if you had property reported, fraction there, you can give me more detail.
Yes, to my understanding, and to my recollection, we collected things that had blood left over on it. I want to say there was like a necktie potentially. I do recall there being a small amount of clothing and miscellaneous paperwork, but I do not think that we collected the paperwork. There was also a cell phone in there. It was not, it was dead, the cell phone. And then, like I said, there might be one, I think we collected 5 to 6 items from the suitcase itself, but obviously the property form would tell you specifically, but that is what I recall.
Correct, I understand that statement. Okay, so potentially you collect these items because you believe they're evidence for the case potentially, is that correct?
Yes.
And some of these items you actually collect with the potential that you might need to have them examined in greater detail, is that correct?
Yes.
An example of something like that would be in this case, that if you found blood, something you might want to potentially examine. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And also the stuff that you're learning outside of these items also helps you in making that determination. Isn't that correct?
That's
The stuff that you learn, the information that you're getting or you're receiving about what's happening at that time will lead you to determine what items might need to be collected and what items might need to be tested.
correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So out of the items that were collected at the house or department, at those items, was anything to your knowledge sent off for further examination?
I believe so, but if it was, there would be.
Oh, he asked all the other people. Now he getting
they would be
us.
sent to the
Hey, yours
law
truly.
enforcement for further testing.
And do you have an independent memory of what
He finally able to get a detective.
that was sent to FDLE for further examination?
I don't recall specifically without looking.
Okay. Now, are you aware at one point in time, there were some fingernail clippings or fingernail swabs taken from Miss Sarah?
Yes.
And in fact, that was done on her interview on the, would have been the 25th.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we witnessed in the video.
Yes.
That's what it- And I'm sure at the autopsy, which you were present at, is that correct?
Yes.
And those, there would have been some fingertip swabs of George Torrey. Are you familiar with that?
They do swabbing of the hands, to my understanding, and clippings of his nails.
Okay. Do you have an independent memory of the fact that Sarah Boone's fingernail swabs were sent to FDLE for comparison?
I would believe so.
Okay. How about the ones from Mr. Torres? Do you have knowledge that those were sent to FDLE for comparison or identification?
Well, they would have come from him, so I'm not sure what we would have compared it to.
Okay. Were they there to see, or at least they're sent there to see if they can extract DNA?
Oh, okay. Yes. I mean, I'm not sure if they did that testing for his nails clipping specifically, but it would be in the report if so.
Okay. Who would make the decision about sending his finger swabs to FDLE for comparison or evaluation?
I would request it I would request it to the crime scene investigator, and she would author the procedure for them to do so.
And then as to Sarah Boone's swabs, who requested that those be sent to FDLE for evaluation?
And I would assume that I would have done that. I would have requested CSI to do that.
Are you aware of the results from those evaluations? I'm not asking you for the results, just if you're aware of the results.
I believe I'm aware, but would love to see a report before I specifically answer.
Yes, I'm not going to ask you specifically.
Oh.
Okay. But basically, you're aware that it was done, the procedure was done.
Yes.
Now, ma'am, so you're through the first day. Then we get to the second day, which would have been, I believe, the 25th of February. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on the 25th of February, was Mr. Torres' autopsy done at that time?
Yes, it was.
Were you present during the autopsy?
Yes, I was.
And did you communicate with the medical examiner at that time?
Yes, I did.
During the course of things, is that where you found out through the medical examiner at the autopsy that there was blunt force trauma?
Yes, that is where I learned more about his injuries.
Now, initially, when you were on the scene on the 24th, did you view Mr. Torres' body?
Yes, I did.
Did you notice in and of yourself on your own something that caused you concern that there might be blunt force trauma?
Yes, I noticed injuries to him. Yes.
Okay, so after the autopsy, we had additional information, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, there was an interview, well, I don't know if it was an interview, there was a meeting set up for Sarah Boone, is that correct?
Yeah.
On the 25th?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how that meeting was arranged or how that meeting was set up?
So either before I left the scene, the night of the incident, I obviously met with Sarah and told her that we were leaving. We had to go make next of kin notification, and I would have either at that time said I would like to meet tomorrow, and arranged it then, at least to like let her know that I would like to meet after the autopsy, and then obviously from watching the video towards the end, she said something about like recalling a conversation that we had, like calling me. So there may have been a phone conversation that occurred later that evening where I either would have confirmed the time or told her the time then. I just don't have that like on an audio. But I know it either took place before I left the scene because I obviously would have, said my goodbyes and told her we were leaving. We're going to make next of kin notification. She was very concerned about that. So I would want her to know that we were doing that. So it either took place then or it took place on that phone conversation that we had.
The day prior to that, on the 24th, ma'am, you received their phone, is that correct?
Yes, her phone was on the scene, yes.
And when you received that phone, Sarah Boone had given you that phone, is that correct?
No, she was not allowed in the apartment to give me the phone.
I'm sorry, did she give you permission to take the phone?
Yes.
Okay, is that correct?
Yes, I was given permission to go through her phone, yes.
Because at that time, you hadn't applied for any type of search warrant to get or search the phone, is that correct?
No, it was based off of consent.
Okay, so she had consented to you for you to have her phone.
Yeah.
She also provided you the code to get in the phone, is that correct?
Yes.
So at this point in time, Ms. Boone is cooperating with you, isn't that correct?
Yes.
I mean, do you recall telling her, Ms. Boone, that she could get her phone back the next day?
I don't recall specifically telling her when she would be able to get her phone back, but I did say something along the lines of we were now going to be taking the phone. I obviously had digital come out for consent to go through her phone. There was evidence on her phone that I needed to be downloaded, and at the time, I was willing to give back her phone before going through it. And then once we had gone through it, and those videos were found, I felt like this was very different, and it changed my perspective on consent. And I decided at that time that it was best to get a search warrant. So consent couldn't be basically like I knew I was going to take her phone. So consent had to be basically given to me throughout the entire period. So she would have had no way to contact me to tell me she no longer consented. So therefore, because there was evidence on the phone, I took the phone. Basically, I potentially told her, maybe we didn't get a full download. I may have said something along the lines of that. As far as me taking the phone, and then I wrote a search warrant. I either started writing the search warrant the night of, but it wasn't signed until I didn't submit it until the next day, and then it was signed the next day on the 25th.
So basically, what you're telling us is that she could have withdrawn her consent at any time prior to that. Is that correct?
Well, while I was on scene, but at the end of the day, there was evidence on the phone, so I knew I could get a search warrant to go through the phone based off there being evidence. Like the 911 calls, and her explaining to me that they had spoken to family members.
Please silence your cell phones.
Since they had explained to me that they spoke with family members the night prior. So I wanted to obviously corroborate her statement. So I knew that I would be able to get into the phone for a search warrant. But yes, she could have not consented, and she could have not signed the paper for consenting while we were on scene.
But before you left scene, you knew that Sarah Boone was not going to get that phone back. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So when Sarah Boone called you the next day, asking you about bringing her phone back, did you just tell her, Ms. Boone, you're not getting your phone back?
There was not a conversation about her not getting her phone back. She may have inquired about her phone, and I would have explained that we will talk about it when we meet in that afternoon.
Okay. So Did you reach out to Ms. Boone that next day, or did Ms. Boone reach out to you?
I don't recall a specific if she reached out to me the night of the 24th or before the interview on the 25th. I don't have my call records for that. I'm just basing it off of the interview where she had basically said that, yeah, I have your business card and I can contact you like I did. So my assumption would be that we did have some sort of conversation either the night of the 24th or before the interview on the 25th.
On the 20th, did you make arrangements with Sarah Boone to meet with her on the 25th?
So I either made arrangements on the 24th with her before leaving the scene, and I would have told her I would like to meet with you the next day. Or I said, and I may have given her a specific time at that moment, or when we spoke later that evening on the phone, I may have confirmed the time or given her a time then. But she definitely knew that we were meeting at 3 p.m. on the 25th at Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations.
And ma'am, you just don't remember at what point you want to set this meeting with her.
It's one or the other. That I'm sure. Yes.
Okay. And then to have been one of the, you did the, you prepared the investigative report in this case, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And the investigative report, you basically summarized everything that took place in this case, up to a certain point.
Yes, it was a summary. Yes.
As far as evidence, as far as witnesses who were talked to, a synopsis of what they said to you at that time, is that correct?
Yes, things that I did specifically. It's a summary of that.
I found your investigative report to be in great detail because it helped me track this case from basically beginning to now to the point where the report stops. And it seems like in your investigative report, you were very thorough about details. Is that correct?
I'm a detailed person. Yes, thank you.
Truth, I just ordered Xfinity internet. I gotta see, but see, they got a 2-year damn contract, so this shit better be good. Well, I'm stuck anyway for 2 years because they say it's a $230 damn thing. Now, what I don't like about this Xfinity shit is I pay $70 a month, but if I'm late, it's $77, and I'm used to paying $77. This one, $85. They took out $5, but with taxes, it's still $81. But after the 2-year rate that I'm locked in for the $80 a month, it jumped up to $116. I'm canceling unless it's really good. There's too much for internet. We're gonna see in a couple days, 2 to 3 days, if it's better than T-Mobile. If so, T-Mobile, you're out of here. Bye. You gotta go. Gotta get you up out of here. Bye-bye. Yeah. So that's where we're at with the internet.
Okay. So being the detailed person you are, and absolutely doing your law enforcement training, they tell you, they train you that your report should be very much in detail. That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. Because you might have to refer back to them at a later time. Is that one? Okay.
Yes, and to prepare myself for depositions and trials.
Okay. And just to give an accurate picture of what you did and what took place and what people charged you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Being as thorough as you are with these contacts with people, I didn't see in the investigative report when the arrangement was made was Sarah Boone to meet you down and where did you meet?
The Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations.
To meet you at Orange County Sheriff's Office. I did not see that in the report. Do you have an explanation why?
It's not typically something I would put in my report.
Okay. Do you remember having the conversation with Ms. Boone about this meeting that was supposed to take place? You said that you could not return the phone to her that day because you were not feeling good. You remember telling her that? Ma'am.
Hey, room shaker. Hey, Margie, you late? Are you in the bushes eating too?
I didn't do this time frame. Were you pregnant at this time? At that time?
Yes.
All right. Well, anyway, Miss Boone, there was a meeting arranged. Is that correct?
For the 25th at 3 p.m. Yes.
Yes, and Miss Boone showed up for that meeting.
She did. Yes.
We saw. Okay. Now, ma'am, I'd like to talk to you about some other investigation. On witnesses, other witnesses that you took the testimony or statements for your statement. Okay. Do you remember Abraham Moreno?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take his report statement?
Yes.
All right. At the time that you took Mr. Moreno's report statement, was there anyone else with you?
My partner should have been with Detective Scotland.
Excuse me?
My partner should have been with me, Detective Scotland.
Okay. Who was with you, would it help refresh your memory if you were to see your investigative report?
Hey, Miss Daly. Send you some fire. You talking about the I got this off Viva Video Editor, but I'll look around and see if I can find some.
Yes, I believe so.
May we approach? Yes.
No, not the infamous approach.
You have an independent memory of Detective Scott Bowen being with you at that interview.
I believe my partner was with me on the interview. Yes, I typically wouldn't go and do some follow-up without my partner being.
Thank you very much. Now, ma'am, did that interview, what date did that interview take place on?
I believe the 26th, February 26th of 2020.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, was that interview recorded?
It was audio recorded.
Was the entire interview audio recorded?
Yes, the entire interview was audio recorded.
Ma'am, are you familiar with a witness by the name of Brandon Moats?
Yes, I am.
On February the 27th of 2020, did you take interview Brandon Moats?
I believe so. It was either the 26th or 27th.
If you were to see your investigative report, would that have pressure?
Again, object, you have indicated that she needs assistance for her approach. Take a stand.
Ma'am, if it was the 27th, you would not disagree with that, would you?
Well, I just stated that I was either the 26th or 27th.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, Mr. Moats, he was the neighbor living in the apartment, or the connected apartment, wall apartment, with Ms. Boone and Mr. Torres, is that correct?
Yes.
And he's the one who told you about the loud noise, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you interview anyone else in reference to that loud noise?
So I was interviewing Brandon, and then my partner was interviewing Vincent, the other witness, and I came in at the end of the interview with Detective Lowen.
Okay, so that's Vincent Do you know his last name?
I would butcher it.
Me too, but something like that. I'm talking about the same person.
Yes.
And did that interview take place on February 27th of 2020?
I believe so. I interviewed witnesses after I interviewed Sarah, the 26th or 27th would be my.
Okay, thank you. And then, did he also talk to you about a loud noise?
I believe that I was refreshed on the conversation. And yes, he expressed hearing a loud noise as well.
Okay, thank you. Now,
I went live like 8 minutes early.
and those interviews were actually audio recorded too, is that correct?
Yes, they were.
Now let's go to Ms. Boone's interview. And that would have took place on the 25th, is that correct?
Yes.
And Ms. Boone came down. And ma'am, prior to Ms. Boone coming down for the interview, had y'all made the decision that Ms. Boone was going to be arrested?
Yes, I plan to arrest Sarah.
Okay. Did you tell Ms. Boone in arranging the meeting that when she came down there, she was going to be arrested?
Here they come.
So ma'am, at that time, you did not tell Ms. Boone prior to coming down there that she was going to be arrested. Is that correct?
No, I did not.
Okay. Why did you not tell Ms. Boone that she was going to be arrested?
We plan to meet at 3 p.m. and go over the autopsy and have another interview. So, I mean, I'm not sure why I would tell her that she's going to be arrested. That would potentially cause her to flee, not come, and then we have to go find her and make it more difficult for everyone.
Or potentially get an attorney to come with her?
She has read her rights that said that she has a right to an attorney. And if one cannot be provided for her, she'll be appointed one.
I understand that. You read those rights when she got there, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
You didn't read those rights to her before she got there, though, did she?
I wasn't in contact with her, physical contact with her.
Okay. So, but you said potentially for me. My question was, potentially she could have got an attorney too to come with her. Is that not correct?
I misunderstood your question. I didn't hear potentially bring an attorney with her, but yes, I guess she potentially brought an attorney with her.
So Ms. Boone shows up, and you tell her some things that we need to talk about. Is that correct?
Specific verbiage. I know I said something along the lines of that obviously the autopsy had been conducted, and there were things that we needed to talk about in regards to that.
And prior to discussing it with her and asking her questions, you did read her Miranda. Is that correct?
Prior to, I'm sorry, Robert?
Before you started asking her questions, though, in this interview, before you started asking Ms. Boone's questions, you read her Miranda warnings. Is that correct?
Yes, before I started asking any sort of potentially incriminating questions, she was read her Miranda warnings. Yeah.
Ma'am, do you remember as part of the Miranda warnings that you read to Ms. Boone, did you read her the one that states that if you decide to answer questions, but want to stop answering and consult with an attorney, you may do so? Do you independently remember reading Ms. Boone that instruction?
I don't recall that specific, but I do have my Miranda card on me, but I don't recall that that's what that says. But it is on audio and video.
Okay. Now, ma'am, at that point in time, Ms. Boone wasn't under arrest. Is that correct?
Ms. Boone was not going to be free to leave once she was in my custody.
At that point in time, had you told Ms. Boone that she was not free to leave?
No, I did not.
At that point in time, had you told Ms. Boone that she was under arrest?
I told her at the end of the interview.
Okay. Before the interview?
No, I did not tell her before the interview.
Ma'am. Why didn't you tell her before the interview?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to ask the answer.
So I have to read her Miranda warnings, and that's what I did. I do not have to tell her that she's under arrest at that time.
Was there a reason? Could you have told her that she was under arrest before me reading her Miranda warnings?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the calls for speculation.
Sustained. Ma'am, was it a strategic decision not to tell Ms. Boone that she was under arrest prior to reading her those Miranda warnings?
Your Honor, I'm going to check this relevance.
Approach. Ma'am, and we were able to see the video of the interview. As a process of interviewing people, such as Ms. Boone, well, let me specifically, in the process of interviewing Ms. Boone, is law enforcement free to give information that might not be accurate or true during the interview process?
Are you asking for a lie to her?
Yes.
Yes, to an extent.
Was that done at any time in this interview?
To lie to her? I don't recall I heard it.
They agree your representation.
No.
And this will this be released, stated.
We have her subject to recall.
Okay.
Subject to recall.
All right, be released subject to recall. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
State any other witnesses, evidence, or testimony to be produced.
Throughout this unstated record.
Okay. Members of the jury, it is 10:22 a.m. I have some matters with counsel that I need to address. So we're going to excuse you for a short while. It's a great opportunity for us to take our morning break as well. Similar instruction that I've given to you over the last couple of days. Please do not discuss this case amongst yourselves or anyone else. And do not conduct any independent research or investigation as the person, places, things, or charge involved in this case. We'll bring you back in as promptly as possible. Thank you.
Okay, we're 2.5 hours. And they still ain't said nothing.
So far, you've been present throughout the entire trial process. The specifics, just whether and potential harms of testimony. You've been alone.
Yes.
Because the final decision is yours.
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you hear me explain to the jury at the beginning of the trial how the right to remain silent is absolute, and the fact that a defendant did not testify cannot be considered as evidence of guilt or influence their verdict in any way?
Yes.
Before a jury begins its deliberations, the court will read another jury instruction if you decide not to testify. This instruction orders the jury not to consider your silence as evidence of guilt or to consider your decision at all. Would you like me to read that instruction for you at this time?
Yes.
Is instruction 3.9a, entitled Defendant Not Testifying. The Constitution requires the state to prove its accusations against the defendant. It is not necessary for the defendant to disprove anything, nor is the defendant required to prove her innocence. It is up to the state to prove the defendant's guilt by evidence. The defendant exercised a fundamental right by choosing not to be a witness in this case. You must not view this as an admission of guilt or be influenced in any way by her decision. No juror should ever be concerned.
Come
now that the all
on, G, shut up and let Sarah get her ass on the.
testify as a witness.
On spirit, and there's a dispute about whether or not
The fear component.
I believe the evidence.
Good grief.
We're going to take a look. We're going to go ahead and take that break at this time here in the courthouse. It's going to last to 4 years of reservice.
More arguing. Well, all right then. There's a 4-hour mark.
We will be standing when our jury enters. In state of Holland.
What she said at various times, he went under late in the night, and she tried to keep him occupied and tried to keep.
I gotta walk off, so I'm letting it play. Hey, can't handle the truth.
If he reaches a certain dwelling on his hardships, then he will react to her in a violent way. So she had that state of mind with that understanding of her history and his history and his overt act, which she's going to testify to, coupled with the fact of her state of mind based on her past experiences with him in that intoxicated state and the fact that he is violent. So she was hypersensitive to danger and fear. And I think that ought to be allowed in as part of her collectively an overt act. So it was culminated by his state of intoxication coupled with his overt act created the well-founded fear for her to block the attack, to self-restrain or physically restrain George Torres in the suitcase, to actually use the bat to prevent him from getting out of the suitcase because she knew she was going to get attacked.
The basis of the opinion about the attack is predicated on the prior incidences of violence, correct? Based on
It's not attributed by George Torres, but she was heightened because she knows when he gets to that level of intoxication, and that's the scenario. That's an issue.
Why didn't make clarification? What is it that you're asking me to do?
For me to be able to elicit from Sarah that she was concerned once that second bottle was brought, and that's why she tried to placate him over the course of the evening, and that's why she had a heightened sense that he was capable just due to that, due to his degree of intoxication, that he may act violently towards her. The problem is, Judge, he doesn't remember that incident. It's part of the reason that she videotapes him and photographs him. She starts to document what happens so that she can show him she loves him, she adores him, she wants to marry him, she wants a life with him. But she's starting to get beat on, and so that all ties into her behavior, her sense of nervousness at that point. The reason she was so confident during that 2-minute video was because she knew, okay, this is my chance. He can't get to me. I can tell him exactly what he does that bothers me, that hurts me, and how I feel. And so that's all tied together. And he starts to try to get out of the suitcase, and she reacts the way she did. No response.
We have these arguments already. The court has ruled there are no arguments being made. The court understands exactly what Sarah Boone, the defendant, said to Dr. Werner on October 2nd. The court knows exactly what the defendant said to Dr. Harper over the period of a number of months and years. And there was no overt act. The overt act has to be something that's objectively reasonable to cause a reasonable person to believe there's limited fear of bodily harm or death. But the testimony is not.
I ain't been on her no 4 hours. I've been on 1 hour and 44 minutes. Where y'all? Oh, y'all getting the start time.
It's all fun and games. We're laughing.
I think it does that when I create it, from the time I created it to the time I go live.
I can't breathe. then she flips a switch, gets angry because it reminds her of all the times.
Oh yeah, I was talking about the
she
video.
deserted
Can't handle the
because
truth.
she
He
didn't make her
confused
feel like
me.
she was free. And then that's when she starts beating and shuffling the suitcase so much that it flips over, hitting you with the back. But we've covered this ground. Aggravated assault, aggravated batteries, and forcible felonies, getting fault.
What was said during the evaluation?
They're still arguing. Don't care about that. I want to hear Sarah. I just made y'all listen because I had to walk off. There she go.
The defense would call Sarah Boone.
We might be on day 4 tomorrow in the morning. Because this is day 3. And we are at 4 hours and 42 minutes.
You could take a seat, and if you could, state and spell your name for the record for us.
Sarah Boone, 101077.
And could you spell your name?
SRAH8OONE.
All right, thank you very much. Sir, you may inquire.
Ms. Boone, would you please?
Quit trying to
tell the jury
confuse
where
me.
you were
Can't
born
handle
and
the
raised?
truth. Stop it.
You were born in
Stop.
Atlanta? And how long did you stay in Atlanta before you moved here to Florida?
I was 3 years old, 3 or 4.
And from that time, y'all moved, you and your family, your mother and father, moved to Orlando?
And my grandparents.
You all moved down from Atlanta down to Orlando? And were you raised here essentially from that time on?
Yes.
And you resided here in Orange County, Florida that entire time?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go to high school here locally?
I did.
Where did you go to high school?
Edgewater.
Okay. And tell the jury, how old were you when you graduated?
I was 18 years old.
Now, I know you lost your mother and father. I know you lost your mother and father in your teens and in your 20s. Is that true?
I lost my grandfather when I was a sophomore in high school, and I lost my father when I was a senior. And then my mother passed away a few years after that, and then my grandmother passed away after my mother died.
Right, so you were in your 20s when all that was going on?
Yes.
Okay. And then at some point in your 20s, you met Brian Boone?
I did, yes.
All right. And how long did y'all date before you married?
A good handful of years. I helped my family with paying mortgage and bills for the house since my father had passed away and my grandfather. So
So you worked outside the home?
I did.
Okay. Can you tell the jury when you said you and Brian Boone dated for a while? Do you remember when y'all married?
I did.
Can you tell the jury when y'all were married?
The year?
Yeah.
Do
you remember the date?
It happened to be yes, that after my mother passed away that he had waited to ask me to marry him because he knew it would be
So then, just answer the question if you can. Are you a little bit nervous? No. Well, just tell the jury if you remember the day that you and Brian Boone married.
August 21st, 2004.
Okay. And y'all lived with each other for a short time before that?
Short time.
Yes. Okay. After you married, how long was it before y'all had any children?
Gosh, 6 years.
Okay. And y'all have one son.
Yes.
What's his name?
Lucas.
And how old is Lucas now?
Lucas will be 14 years old on the 28th.
28th of this month? Okay. So you and Brian were married and y'all lived in Orange County. How long were y'all married?
13 years.
All right, and y'all divorced?
Yes.
And as part of the divorce, will y'all to share custody of your son?
Yes.
Y'all would split days, would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And sometime after you and Brian split up, did you meet George Torrance?
Yes.
All right, could you tell the jury how you met George Torrance?
I met George when I decided to buck up again and was tired of trying to patch things up with my ex-husband.
You rarely get the defendant testifying on their behalf.
So I have a beer by myself and sit and people watch just to get out of my house and change the scenery.
All right, now is this your apartment?
No, this is the marital home.
Okay. Where is that marital home?
One of our,
You're no longer living in that marital home?
No.
Who lives in the marital home?
no, but it has been sold.
Okay. So you met George Torres before you got to the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And you met him at a bar across the street from the marital home?
Yes, we had a mutual friend there.
Were you introduced?
Yes.
All right. How did you and George get along when y'all first met?
Very well. It's strange how quickly we hit things off and had so much in common. And I never thought he would be interested in someone like me. And I just couldn't believe that he was actually interested in me and said a lot of nice things. And 1 hour ended up being 4 hours from when we had first met, and then we would always have something to talk about.
Why couldn't you believe that he would be interested in you?
He was very handsome. He was very funny. He was smart, and I would show up in workout clothes and disheveled hair, and I guess I kind of felt broken from being in a couple of the divorce that he knew about. But then one of the things that we could relate also was the fact that he was here in Florida because he had just been divorced from his second wife. So that was another topic that he and I could compare notes on.
So eventually the divorce was settled. Did you get your own place? Is it fair to say that after you, at first you lived in your parents' house, correct?
Yes, I was married.
And then you moved directly in with Brian?
Yeah.
And y'all lived in the marital home, correct?
Yeah.
And then you got this apartment?
Yeah.
So that was the first time in your life that you actually had your own place?
Yeah.
And what was the address?
4748 France Court, apartment number 3.
And what city is that?
In Water Park.
How far is that?
20 minutes.
Okay. So you got that apartment, and initially were you by yourself?
Yeah.
Right, tell jury.
In the almost year, about 10 months of separation from Brian, my ex-husband, that's the time when I met George. And my ex-husband was trying to buy me out or force me out of our marital home, and I had to find somewhere to live. And
So did you and George agree to rent the apartment?
yes, one of the, I needed extra income, we could not afford it, just on my own.
You were receiving some income from the marriage settlement, were you not?
Yes.
So you did have consistent monthly income coming in from the marriage settlement,
For the most part, yes.
but you needed more to live.
Yes, to pay the bills and for rent.
So did you and George have some agreement?
We did.
All right, what was the agreement?
The agreement was that if I decided for he and I to live with one another, because it would be under my name, that he would help with the monthly bills and on a regular basis where it would be something that I would have to argue with him about it, which would be an automatic. Make sure that everything's paid first, and then from there, hopefully have some fun with it.
Okay. So I understand from that point on, it'd be fair to say that y'all saw each other on and off for about the next 3.5 years.
No, we were, I consider us a couple. At some point, he asked me to marry him.
Okay. But y'all did have times when he left and went to live with his parents.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
And there were times where there was an understanding that y'all were going to break up.
Multiple times.
Okay. All right. So again, on again, off again.
Yes, this was actually before we had our apartment. That was, I guess, our dating phase.
So y'all were together for 3.5 years. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And y'all had actually agreed to marry?
He had asked me yes, a couple of times to marry him, and one time I agreed to yes.
Okay. Now, I want to get directly to the date of this event so that the jury can hear your testimony. So tell us, I believe the date is February the 23rd of 2020. Explain to the jury that whole day, the time y'all got up, the whole thing. That's all.
Okay.
And truth, I see that Xfinity sells Boost Pod, so if that doesn't work, I guess I gotta. Is that an extra bill though? Is that an extra monthly bill, or you just buy it and it works?
Well, the way it works with my cable
'Cause
company,
I feel like I'm gonna
you
need some Boost Pods.
you pay for. I'm thinking, how did I do it? Did I pay for them outright initially, or they added it on to my bill? I think they added it
Cause
on.
I don't need it going up. I don't need no extra shit. This shit gonna
Oh,
end up
they
being
charge. They're not gonna.
$100.
Well, Spectrum don't give them to you for free, but they. I think you can either pay for them up front, or they just split it up on your bill. They'll split it up into payments. I can't remember how I did it though. I have to check it. But I got mine way back when. You remember?
I'm blaming this 2-year contract on your ass. Switch cable tray. You gotta go on switch cable. You gotta switch internet.
No, didn't you say you were gonna try it out first? You gonna sign a 2-year contract?
I've already agreed to it and they shipping the shit. I ain't got no choice. It's $230 if I terminate early.
Ooh,
If I feel
baby,
like it's
King
straight.
ain't
And then
playing this.
T-Mobile, my shit is unlimited. I got unlimited internet, unlimited.
You should have unlimited on that as well.
They just said, I don't know if it's unlimited. I guess that was the speeds it gave me. I don't be knowing. This is it's above my pay grade. Your StreamYard's already hiding a bitch. And then
Man, StreamYard is tripping. They done lost their little minds right now, yonder to the StreamYard. And I can't wait to get rid of them. I just can't wait. I'm gonna find me something else. I'm sick of them.
Can't handle the truth. I just need it for the internet, and then hopefully I can ask them because they used to have the thing where you had school age kids, you had internet for the $10. I don't know if they still got this special or not.
It's ridiculous.
This shit is just,
It's
it's
just hard to
becoming
live
too
out
much
here.
to podcast. I'm finna fuck it. I'm finna just start going on the Vertical app. This shit don't cost an hour for the Vertical app. We'll get up to
I know, right?
17,000 subs.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. And people think it really don't cost to do it. It costs to do this stuff. It really does. If you do it right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you remember getting up? Instead of one long speech, let me break you up over the course of the day. So, do you remember the date of February 23rd, 2020?
Yes,
Do you remember getting up?
yes,
Or just tell the jury about that morning. What y'all did that morning. What you and George spent the night together at the apartment.
yes, at that point he was living there.
Yes. So y'all slept in the bed together upstairs. February. So y'all gotten up that morning, February 23rd of 2020.
Yes.
All right, tell the jury what happened when y'all got up.
He was already downstairs and I went downstairs and he wanted to start the day off by drinking because it was a day off from his job. And I talked him into cleaning and tidying up the house for a sense of accomplishment. So that is what we did, for however long that it took. So we did tidy up the house and got everything in order, and it was kind of a reward, I guess, to be able to sit and enjoy ourselves and think back.
All right, what do you mean by cleaning up the house? What did y'all do?
We swept and mopped. We folded some of the laundry. I know that we did the dishes, emptied the dishwasher, just general run of the mill tidying up.
And did you have your son coming the next day?
Yes, that was one of the reasons why we were able to do that.
What was the arrangement you had in terms of the next day would have been your day to pick up your son from school?
Yes.
What time would you pick Lucas up from school the next day?
I believe his school ended at 3:00.
So you would have been responsible to pick him up and he would be spending the night with you that night?
Yes.
So you wanted to have the house nice and clean?
Yes.
How many bedrooms are in the home?
2.
And you and George had one bedroom? And who had the other?
Lucas.
All right, is that exclusively his bedroom?
Yes.
All right, so how long would it have taken you all that morning to clean?
I don't really remember what time I woke up, but maybe a good 2, maybe 3 hours.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that you and George both smoke cigarettes?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that you and George both drink alcohol?
Yes.
So at some point, y'all finished your chores, right? And then y'all were gonna enjoy the day.
Yes.
Right, what was the plan?
It was just kind of, we've got the day to ourselves, just kind of relax and go with the flow.
Did y'all make a decision that y'all were gonna start drinking?
We had a half of a bottle that was already in the refrigerator, and I did not want to go out afterwards. I, again, had Lucas coming the next day, so we went over to Publix to purchase another bottle of wine, so we could not have to go out later on that evening.
Now, you were here in court when the state played the video of you two and the Publix purchasing the bottle of wine?
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to here with the jury right now?
Yes.
Okay. And that was around noonish?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And y'all started drinking the leftover bottle before going to Publix?
No.
So, y'all bought a bottle of wine?
Yes.
All right. And how did y'all get to Publix?
My car.
How far is Publix from your apartment?
5 minutes,
How would you get there from your apartment?
meeting.
Do you have to go across any major highways, or is it right there?
You just come out of our apartment complex and you do a little U-turn and then come out and it's right in that complex.
But it's easier to drive than to walk.
Yes.
I know that sometimes y'all would simply need cigarettes and it was a walking distance. Can you tell the jury about that?
Yes, there was a AutoZone convenience store with, in the same, I guess, parking lot of our townhome or complex. And it was just a straight shot from our, apartment to a back gate and you could get right into the convenience store from right there.
But y'all went over to get that bottle of wine around noonish, and how did y'all you took your car?
Yes,
Did George have a bid?
we did not,
And how did you pay for the wine?
with my debit card.
And then y'all came back and started drinking?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what you did when you got back from the Publix.
Just went on the back porch where we usually spend our time because we're able to smoke cigarettes outside as opposed to inside. And
Is cigarette smoking not allowed indoors?
it is not.
Okay. Do you have pets?
Yes, I do.
Or did you have pets?
I did, yes.
Okay. Were they with y'all there that day?
Yes, my dogs were with me all the time when I was there.
How many dogs do you have?
I had 2,
And just what are their names?
Penny and Tess.
And what's the breed?
They are red Boston Terriers.
And are they both the same?
Yes, Penny is blind and Tess is deaf.
So when y'all went out to smoke on the back porch and drink, I said as well, correct?
Yes.
Did y'all take the dogs out?
Yes.
Is there a place for them to do their business out there?
Yes, I extended our back porch for them to have a little bit of area as opposed to going from a large backyard from my marital home to our little townhome. And they would come out there and do their business, and I would open the gate and then walk them in the back part of our apartment.
So you and George were just going to enjoy the day together? Is it fair to say y'all don't have a lot of money?
Yeah.
And so y'all going to do something there at home? Y'all weren't going out for dinner?
Yes, we primarily, I would consider us homebodies as opposed to going out and partying and doing this and that.
Okay. And how long do you think y'all were out that afternoon outside?
A few hours.
Can you tell the jury what y'all did?
We have a dartboard that's out there, and we just have drinks, and we're just really enjoying each other's company and talking about, things that are coming. We both were looking for a job, and just kind of, I guess, encouraging and supporting and planning.
Well, now you said he had a job. Was he looking for a job, a second job?
No, the job that he had was very unstable, and at that,
So he was looking for something new.
yes, at that time, yes.
And so during that 2 to 3 hours, would it be fair to say that y'all drank the bottle?
Yes,
Okay. So would it be fair to say that y'all were feeling the effects of the alcohol?
yes.
Okay. At some point, who made the decision to come in?
I.
Okay. Why did y'all want to come in?
I felt that George needed a change of scenery.
Okay. So y'all came in, and then did y'all do anything else before he left again? Were y'all doing anything? I know y'all did some arts and crafts. What did y'all do? At some point, he went to get another bottle of Bugs.
Yes, after, I believe it was after it was right before I believe that we had gone inside. He called his daughters. I was trying to encourage him to call his family.
Okay, now where are his daughters?
His 2 daughters are located in Pennsylvania,
And what are their names?
Anna and Destiny.
And how old are they?
I believe Anna is in her 30s and Destiny maybe in her early 20s.
Or is he having more children?
Yes, he has a son.
And what is his son?
He's in Pennsylvania also.
So part of that afternoon, y'all came in to call relatives, call family.
No, I had him call outside, just trying to, I guess, boost the mood. And the first daughter didn't answer, and I don't remember the reason I didn't speak to the second one. I believe if he did, it was just for a moment.
Whose phone y'all using?
My phone.
And is that common for y'all to use that, for y'all to share that phone?
It was because George said that he didn't have a phone, so it would either be lost or given to him by his mother. So I didn't know he had a cell phone, so he would use my phone.
So it's primarily your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. And you took a lot of photographs that were on that phone?
Yes.
Video games?
Yes.
text messages?
Yes.
Phone call?
He and I both on phone calls.
So he would use it.
Yes.
And that phone, is that the one that was seized in this case?
Yes.
All right, so y'all called his daughters, and then during that phone call period, did you also call his brother?
Yeah.
Okay, which brother was that?
John.
Now, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I'm gonna listen to everything.
Okay.
It's John, Pharrell, Isaac, Mo, and his sister.
Okay. And do they all live here in Florida?
Yes.
Are they close by?
Yes.
What about his parents?
Yes.
Do they live here as well?
Yes.
Okay. But his ex-wives and his children live up in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Okay. So you called the girls, then you called, George called his brother.
Yes.
Was that conversation that long?
No, it's not.
Okay. And then after that phone call, what did were y'all inside by this time?
Yes, at this point, I believe that it was a good time to get a change of scenery. So I thought George would be better off inside, and frankly, I didn't want to be outside any longer.
So just to get an idea, about this time is when he went to get the second bottle, or did y'all stay inside for a while before he left?
No, from what I recall, it was, I thought the day was over, and it was going to be, get ready for the evening, for the day, what do you want for dinner, do you have an extra load of laundry that you need to throw in, kind of thing, and that was my understanding, and
This was about 5-ish or something?
I don't remember the time.
Okay. At some point during that time period, did George go to Publix again?
Yes, I thought he was going to be walking to the convenience store, but apparently, when he returned, he had gone across the street with my car and my debit card to buy another bottle of wine.
What was your understanding of where he was going?
To the convenience store, walking
For what?
cigarettes.
And you learned obviously that he came back and you learned that he used your vehicle
Yes,
and he used your debit card.
yes,
And he brought back a bottle of wine from Publix.
Right.
And you saw the Publix to deal with that.
yes,
So he comes back with the other bottle of wine, and did he want you to drink with him?
it was expected, yes,
And then you agreed to consume the wine, the second bottle with him.
yes.
So over the course of that evening, drinking the wine, what did y'all do time-wise? Watch a movie, music, just kind of tell the truth, what you remember. I know it's obviously been a while, but
It's kind of a regular thing where, I would always try to come up with, entertaining activities for George, and, I got a puzzle. We started off at one point doing a smaller puzzle, and then we did that very quickly. So then I purchased a larger puzzle, and I believe it was 1,000 pieces. So I thought to get his mind off of things and to focus on something, it would be smart for us to do the puzzle. So for however long that took, we finished the puzzle. So that was one.
every piece was finished, or was it?
Everything was finished. It was strange that we couldn't find one piece, and we thought it was funny that it's like in the perfect place on there. But yes, everyone but one piece.
All right, after the puzzle, what did y'all do?
I decided to continue to maintain and focus him, and I had a bunch of paints that I used with my sons that his grandmother bought him. It's a very big art wooden box, and it's got pastels, pencils, paints, any kind of whatever. And he and I were very much into art, and with this resource, it got him very interested in being more creative.
How long have you been into art?
Ever since I can remember, as a child,
Do you like to draw?
I didn't do anything artistic.
And I know, we saw some of the pictures of your apartment, but it looks like there was pictures and artwork up. Is that all your work and George's work?
The majority of it, yes, are belongings from my home, and then also some of George's, yes, on the wall.
Was he pretty good at art as well?
Yes,
All right, so you both enjoy doing it.
very much.
So y'all got out Lucas's art set. What did y'all do with that?
We were just, I guess, doodling, whatever. I always tell him that everything that you make is a masterpiece. So just let loose and just let it go. And we would just paint and, paint and drink, yes, and listen to music sometimes, and yes.
Now with the dogs, did y'all get the dogs involved?
Oh, yes, my dogs follow me, yes.
Is there some dancing going on with the dogs?
Yes, after we had completed the puzzle and I guess were painted out, I thought that it might be a good point for us to maybe listen to some music. And
the music that George listens to is it's very fractious to me, and it was definitely not going to lighten the mood. So we ended up finding some channel on the radio, and he was feeling it. And then we ended up, my one dog gets really active and was dancing with us, and we were just having a good time listening to music.
And I guess it's getting pretty late in the evening.
Yes.
Anything else I've missed? So tell us where y'all ended up before you start the game of hide and seek.
We were there. I couldn't think of anything else possibly that I had to continue entertainment, but I remember sitting at the end of the couch and him sitting in one of my son's chairs that was in the living room and just kind of doing this. Like, what are we going to do now? Like, I very much would like to go to sleep.
Had y'all finished off that bottle, the bottle?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Would it be fair to say that as the day wore on, the more y'all consumed?
Yeah.
And would it be fair to say that as the day wore on, the more you consumed, the more effects you felt from the alcohol?
Of course, yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
So you would agree, would you not, that at the time y'all were trying to figure out something to do and put your hand on the couch, would it be fair to say that y'all were intoxicated?
Yes.
Tell the jury what.
At one point, I guess he knew that I couldn't come up with anything else, tapped me on my knee and said, "You're it." So from there, I ran up the stairs and hid into our shower, just waiting for him to find me so we could hopefully go to sleep at some point. And
Your shower, is it a tub or just walking?
it's a tub, but it's in the master bedroom, and you have to go all the way upstairs, you have to go in the bedroom, and then you have to go into the bathroom part, and then there's the shower.
So did you lay down in the tub?
At one point, yes, I was.
So you were hiding?
I was trying.
Okay. And did you believe that he was going to come try to find you?
Yeah.
Did you wait?
Yes, for quite some time.
All right, then what did you decide to do?
That I decided that I need to go to sleep. I'm picking my son up the next day, and we need to start wrapping up the evening. And I went downstairs to find where he was.
And what, I think the jury has seen pictures of your, did you call it an apartment or
It's considered a townhome.
a town? So you walk down the stairs, right? And at the bottom of the stairs is a bookshelf here?
Yes, at the very end. Yes.
Okay. So you walk down the stairs and you turn and look in the living room. What did you see?
I don't even think I made it all the way down the stairwell because I was just looking for him as soon as I could, to hopefully go upstairs as soon as we could. And I looked over and I saw him settling himself in the suitcase.
All right, tell us about the suitcase. How long, is it an older suitcase?
Yeah.
Whose suitcase was it?
This is George's suitcase.
All right, and did he use it for traveling back and forth to Philly?
Yes, I had recently taken him on a trip to go see his children in Pennsylvania, who he hasn't seen in years, and we took that with us. And because of how dilapidated it was, how broken it was, in the end, after that trip, we decided that we would donate it.
And I understand y'all kept the suitcase upstairs.
Yes,
How long did y'all keep it upstairs?
since we had moved in.
Is there a closet up there you kept it?
Yes, it was in the master closet, the master bedroom closet, all the way in the back because of the size of it, and there was nowhere to put it, so it's all the way in the back.
So when did y'all decide to move it down from upstairs to downstairs? Was it that day or sometime early?
No, it was maybe a week or so prior.
And so what y'all were gonna donate that to Goodwill or?
Yes, we were going to do, I guess, a spring cleaning. Anyone who has children understands that they grow quickly, and there was a lot of clothes that I needed to go through of my son's, and then also from George and I moving in and just kind of putting everything in there. You know, at one point where we just needed to actually go through it and organize it and get things more in order.
So is that the reason it was downstairs? You were gonna donate it and a bunch of things that you were gonna put inside.
Correct. Yes.
So it's been down there a week, so it was already down.
Yes, George brought it down.
So you said that you got down there, you're looking for him, you see him settling into the suitcase.
Yes.
What did you do?
In my head, I said, "Oh man, we're obviously not going to be going to sleep anytime soon." And I walked over, and he was trying to get himself flat, so I couldn't tell that he was in there. And then
Let me stop you there. The suitcase, is it the suitcase over here in the?
Yes.
Wow, you've seen it, you saw it?
Yes.
It's a pretty big suitcase.
Yes.
How big is George?
George was my height,
How
and
tall are you?
I'm 50.
And how much did George weigh?
I thought it was 100 pounds.
Okay. And how much did you weigh?
I was 98 pounds.
Do you put on so much?
Since I've been incarcerated, yes.
Well, at the time, y'all were pretty skinny.
Yes.
So from the pictures, it looks like y'all were both pretty thin.
Yes.
All right. So because of his thinness, is that how? And he's a small man.
Yes.
Okay. So he was able to get in the suitcase on his own.
Yes.
Did he willingly get in the suitcase?
He was already in there.
Okay. When you got to him, did he see you?
Yes.
All right. Tell us what happened.
I mean, I just kind of, I zipped him up. We thought it was funny. And we're joking about how he was small enough to fit inside of the suitcase.
So what happened?
From there, it was just, we were laughing about it. And it's just strange that he was small enough to fit in there. And then I kind of moved it around a little bit with him in the suitcase still. It was still funny that he was still in the suitcase. Just, I think he and I were just kind of couldn't believe that he could fit in the suitcase.
Did you eventually close the top?
Yes, in order for, well, the top was already closed. As he was settling himself in there, that's how I knew he was in there, was because the top was kind of flapping a little bit.
So he got in there to hide and he pulled the top.
Yes.
The top. But you could tell he was in.
Yes.
You saw him right away.
Yes.
All right. So at some point, did you zip him up?
Yeah.
And what was he saying or doing when you were zipping him up?
Just thought it was funny.
We both laughed.
Yes.
And so you zipped him up. Were y'all still laughing once you zipped him up?
Yes.
Tell us what happened there.
From there, I moved the suitcase around a couple of times, just kind of went on the wheels and moved it around. And at that point, it was funny. We were joking and laughing about it.
Now, eventually, did you go sit down on the couch and get your phone?
Yes. Well, the suitcase had, from me moving it around, was flopped over. So while it was like that, I thought at that point I had a moment to, I guess, take the time to talk to him while I guess he was not able to get out for a moment.
So you flipped it. You got it on the top, right?
Yeah.
It's in, but at some point you flip it over so the zipper is on the bottom.
Well, it's just kind of how I was moving it around that it ended up kind of flopping. So
it was upside down.
Yes.
So after you did that, what did you do?
That's when I went over and decided to videotape to just see the I guess the jest in it for him to understand that right now I feel safe and right now I have the ability to actually speak to you in a manner that normally I would not have the ability to do.
And you were intoxicated.
Yes.
And you agree that you said some things you should not.
Yes.
But you realized he could not get out and get at you. Is that fair?
At that moment, yes.
So it goes on for about 10 minutes. You heard it here today, did you not?
Yes.
You heard his voice as he was speaking from the suitcase.
Yes.
That was his voice on video and audio.
Yes.
And you heard your voice on the video and audio.
Yes.
That was your voice.
Yes.
All those things said by the man were said by George in that 2-minute video.
Correct.
All words said by the female were said by you in that 2-minute video.
Correct.
And you were intending on showing him the video the next day.
Yes.
At the time or the next day, it's fair to say you don't even remember a video this.
I do not.
So, from what you can tell from watching it, did that refresh your memory about that?
It did.
Why don't you say? Could you just tell the jury what you were feeling, what your feelings were at the time, and then explain? Just explain that to you. You mentioned, you talked about it. You said he was in that defined space. It's my chance. But is that? Do you want to elaborate on that?
Sure. I want you all to know that the majority of the time, I'm always afraid and always scared.
All right. Well, I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying that. But would it be fair to say that you had some anger?
And
Would it be fair to say that you wanted to tell him off to some degree?
I just wanted, yes, for him to have a better understanding, which was the whole point of the videos and documentation prior.
And you could tell that he was uncomfortable.
I'm guessing.
And did you want him to feel some uncomfort?
I did.
Okay. Now, at some point, you turned off the video.
Yes.
And then we saw a second video, which was approximately 11 minutes later. And you've seen that video displayed to the jury. It's 22 seconds long.
Yes.
And I don't think you speak in that video. You hear Jordan say Sarah.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So between the 2-minute video and the 22-second video is an 11-minute period. Would you call the jury?
Continue to speak to one another, and his tone changed, and I knew the tone, and we ended up, I guess, arguing back and forth with one another, and it was the things that he was saying very much frightened me, and cursing at me and threatening me, and
Did he want you to lay around this?
I'm sure so.
Okay, tell me.
And it got very heated very quickly, and he continued to push on the suitcase. And my fear was that he was going to break out of the suitcase, knowing that it was a broken suitcase. And his hand started to come through. His hand started to come through this way. And so I shook the suitcase. I shook the suitcase, trying to get his hand to go back in, shaking it, and telling him that, please stop doing this. Please stop doing this to me. Please stop doing this to me.
So his hand actually got out of the suitcase.
Yes.
And you went to the suitcase.
Yes.
And shook it.
Yes.
Did that force his hand to go back in?
No.
So you're shaking it. Were you shaking it to try to get the suitcase, his hand back in?
Yes.
How long did you shake it?
I don't know.
But his hand was still out.
Yes.
Was he trying to get out?
Yes.
Was he angry at you?
Yes.
Were you in fear?
Always.
If he would have gotten out of the suitcase, what would he have done?
Like he used to tell me, he probably would have made me unrecognizable, or I would have lost my life.
Did you lose the grip on the suitcase?
Yes.
What was the back in relation to the suitcase?
It was leaning against the dining room table right there.
The suitcase.
3 feet, 2 feet.
Was his hand still out of the suitcase?
Yes.
Was he getting out of the suitcase?
He very much trying, yes.
And so what did you do?
For the split-second reaction that I had, I happened to see that, and I grabbed the baseball bat and was trying to poke his hand to go back in, to please don't break through, please. So I hit his hand.
What did you hit? The outside part of his hand.
Yes.
We've seen the photographs of his left hand. Did you cause the bruising there?
I'm guessing yes.
Now, you think of that. You back?
Yes, I bought it for my son.
This nigga said I poked him with the bat. Hey, K-Seal.
You said you poked him with it?
Yes, I kind of pushed.
I just prodded
like,
him a little
held
bit.
it with the skinny part here, and then
So you grabbed here.
brought it out. Yes.
You grabbed it with both hands here. And then the barrel of that, the big part of that is here. And you thrusted it into this different area of the suitcase?
I started with his hand, and his hand, he was still trying to get out, he was still trying to do that. So I started to push on the suitcase around it, hoping to have his hand retract and go back inside.
You made those injuries.
I did.
We've seen the photographs.
Yes.
We see the bruising. Is that from that match?
Yes.
Eventually, did his hand go back inside from you doing?
Yes, finally, he had subsided and retracted his hand.
So in your mind, did you prevent him from attacking you?
Absolutely. Split second decision.
Now, once he retracted his hand, do you remember zipping it up some? Or what did you do in relation? Because he was upside down, was he not? At that point?
Yes.
At some point, you flipped him back up.
I did.
Tell how that happened.
He wasn't cursing, he wasn't threatening, his hand was inside foremost. There was no more of him trying to break through the suitcase. So I felt safe enough to turn it back over. It wasn't happening anymore.
You went back to the video in the couch,
I did, yes.
and we saw the second video.
Yeah.
The 22-second, and he's right side up again.
Yes.
And you hear him say, Sarah?
Yes.
Have you left enough room for him to get out? Zipper to zipper.
Yes, that's how his hand was trying.
That suitcase has 2 zippers, doesn't it? And they meet at various places along the line.
Correct.
How much room? When you flip it over, how much room was between zipper to zipper?
I don't know specifically. I mean, it was enough to where his hand was coming out.
After you would hit him with the bat, was he not trying to get out anymore?
No.
Did you believe that he could breathe in there?
Yes.
Did you ever believe he could die in there?
No. At all.
Were you trying to kill him?
Never.
Did you want to kill him?
I did not.
Why you poke him with a bat to get back in? And if it was hide and go seek and he got out,
Did you walk upstairs?
I did, yes.
Why didn't you let him out before you walked upstairs? Were you afraid?
Here is more of the word.
As long as he was in the suitcase, he couldn't harm him. Please. Did you want to calm him?
Yes, I wanted him to stop being angry because I know what it is for him to be angry.
You went upstairs. Told the dog.
The dogs were upstairs with me.
And where did they go?
On the bed.
Did you have the phone with you?
Yes,
I know at some point you called your husband Brian, did you not?
I did.
You recall how long that conversation was?
Not very long.
Can you recall what was it?
I don't remember exactly. No, I don't.
Sarah, you said that when he was in the suitcase, he was threatening her, threatening you. Can you tell the jury what he was saying?
I don't know. Am I allowed to curse?
Yes.
But he was going to fucking end me. And that's what made me ask him please to stop doing what he's doing to me. That he was going to, I'm guessing, try his best that night to probably take my life.
But what? The threat you heard was he's
going to
say the word.
end me.
Excuse me?
Fucking end me.
End you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Judge, will you approach me?
Yes. But do not have any discussions amongst yourselves or anyone else about those things. Well,
Get
past his objections and things.
That is, she still had a fear, knowing that if he got, she put the bat up, when she realized he was not going to do that any further, she flipped him over right side up. She still had a fear, knowing that if he got out, she would be harmed. He would beat her up. She went upstairs. That is an overt act based on the discussions, coupled with the fact that he threatened her, using the word, "I'm gonna fucking end it for you," or some words to that effect. I don't remember her exact words, just before she went upstairs while he was still in the suitcase. If she would have let him out, and this is a crime, now this is an event involving an omission, failure to act, failure to unzip it at that point, before she went upstairs. The failure to act, the failure to unzip, which would have let him out, which would have created a situation that she believed was imminent bodily harm to herself. And I guess I'll get a couple of examples. Let's say that a police officer is called to a scene, and the only thing he hears is there is a suspect, and the suspect may be armed. So, of course, the officer pulls out his revolver, and he's walking around, but then eventually he finds the suspect, and the suspect reaches for his waist. The officer doesn't see the gun, but the officer sees the movement to the waist. The officer fires and shoots the suspect. The officer is justified because there's an immediate threat of harm. The officer has to react instinctively. There's no time to think. Similar to the actions that Sarah Boone had to take. Another example, you're at a bar with your buddies and you've had something to drink, and another group has had something to drink, and one of your buddies gets into an argument with one of the buddies on the other party. And one of your friends, seeing that it's being escalated, and the guy that's arguing with your buddy is aggressive, more aggressive than your buddy is. Your buddy's trying to settle the thing, but this other individual, maybe he's had too much to drink and he's more aggressive. So you go around behind this individual, and before he's able to strike your buddy, you grab him, you lock him up. That's physical restraint to block an attack. Don't grab him by the neck, then you choke him. Physical restraint to block an attack. That's what she was doing with the suitcase. If she laid on the suitcase, she was going to be harmed. Based on him trying to get out with his hand, based on the threats he made while he had his hand out, and based on the threats he made while he had his hand inside just before she went upstairs.
Really? He in a suitcase.
Case all that's obtained in his research in this matter, come back with a oral ruling momentarily. Thank you.
Oh man, I thought he was talking. This nigga was actually deliberating.
Orlando.
No. How long is this bastard gone?
And then, same with you.
That's separate part from the uppercut.
Okay. Down there.
That's what you need to discuss, sir. Yeah. Reflect all hands.
Right. After you called your ex-husband, what happened after that?
I sleep.
Okay. Do you remember waking up the next morning?
Yes.
Did you sleep in?
Not intentionally.
Okay. But you didn't get up at 8 o'clock, did you?
No.
Did you wake up closer to noon?
I believe so, yes.
Did you check the time?
No.
Now, did you hear your phone ringing?
Yes, I did.
And did you answer it right away?
No.
Do you know approximately how many times it rang before you answered?
I believe I called was about 3 times.
Did you know who was calling?
Husband.
And why would he be calling?
To make sure that I was still on schedule to pick up our son.
At 3 that afternoon?
Correct.
And he goes to school there close by? All right. When you woke up, did you stay in bed for a while?
For a little while, yes.
Tell the jury what happened when you got up.
knew it was my ex-husband calling repeatedly. I didn't answer right away because one of our problems is that he doesn't understand that I'm doing things around the apartment and looking for jobs and so on and so forth. So I inevitably just let it ring, and I sat or laid in the bed, and I figured that George was downstairs either drinking or looking for jobs, or may have just left. And so eventually I decided to get out of the bed and start moving to go downstairs. I was motivated enough to go downstairs. And when I went downstairs, it was very quiet. So I had the understanding, I believed that he had left. And
Did you check to see if he was, where would he be looking for a job?
usually on the couch, he would have my son's laptop and he and I, which we would share.
Y'all only have the son's laptop?
Correct.
And the TV was not working at this time?
The TV was not there.
So you thought he would be in the living room on the laptop?
Yes.
He was not there?
No.
Where else did you look for him?
I looked on the back porch. I went through the front door to see if my car was there, thinking maybe he had taken my car. I checked the bathroom, and when I was checking the bathroom, I saw the suitcase, and I remembered about the night prior, and I unzipped the suitcase
Let me
and
stop you there. You said you were in the bathroom when you saw the suitcase or coming out of the bathroom?
no, what happened is I would have to go to the bathroom here, and then when I turned around, I noticed the suitcase, and I remembered.
How did you feel when you saw the suitcase?
I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that before.
Describe it for the jury.
I guess it was, I was aghast, and I can't describe the feeling to a certain degree.
I'm sorry, say that again now.
It was terror to a certain degree. I just can't describe it in words, the feeling of remembering. And then he was still in there.
So what did you do?
I immediately unzipped the suitcase, and I was screaming, George, George, George. I was shaking him. And I pulled him out, and I stretched him out flat. And then I began instantly trying to do CPR, and then was trying to look for a pulse or a breath or just anything. And was just screaming his name over and over and over again. And come on, George, come on, George. And I continued CPR, and I continued CPR, and he was gurgling. And
What color was it?
what color was he?
Yes.
He was purple.
At some point, did you call your ex-husband?
Yes, when he started to gurgle, and I knew that my ex-husband is notorious for bringing my son over in very inopportune times when George is possibly drunk or doing things not appropriate for my son to see. And I just didn't know what to do. It was just a quick knee-jerk reaction. Ryan was kind of my go-to person because of my family being deceased, and I don't have anyone else that I can call. I just wanted to ensure that he would not bring my son over in the process of all of this.
So you called him.
I called him.
Did you ask him what to do? Or did you just tell him to come over?
I just told him to go.
Did you tell him that you felt like Boone was dead?
Yes, I did.
And how far? You said it's 5 minutes from house to house?
Yes.
Did you call him back?
Yes, because he was taking so long. It felt seconds for hours. Yes. I'm still doing CPR at the same time in the process of it. I'm doing CPR, I don't know how many times.
Did he get there?
Yes.
Did he walk in?
Yes.
Did he walk out?
Yes.
What did he tell you to do?
Call 911.
What did you do?
Call 911.
Is that the recording we've heard here in this trial?
Yes.
Did you love George?
To this day.
Why?
George was very passionate. George was a very real person. George was nice to me on the good days. George complimented me. George and I were two bodies with one soul. He and I would always say. I don't believe that I've ever had a connection with anyone like I have with George.
Did you have that connection with your son?
I did not.
We're getting close. George had some good drinks then. Did George have some bad drinks?
Yeah.
Did you drink too much?
I did.
Did George drink too much?
Yeah.
Tell the jury about George's drink.
If George was able to, he would drink from sun up to sundown. And me having my son and trying to work and maintain a home and just have a life, a normal life as best as I could, somehow that upset George. And because I had a certain dollar amount for my divorce settlement, at one point it was from wine we could afford vodka. So a lot of the times he would take my car, my debit card, and go buy the large, we call them handles, vodka, which is the big bottle. And sometimes he would finish that on his own throughout an entire period of a day into an evening. That's honestly where I thought that he was going to be that morning when I came downstairs, because he's notorious for just automatically already being outside from drinking all the time.
And you said you had an alcohol problem. George had an alcohol problem.
Yes.
How did George's drinking adversely affect you?
It would debilitate my ability to help him the way that I was always trying to help him, because it would be a day of survival, and then it'd be another day where I'm having to peel him off of me and call 911.
Why would you get that? Well, tell us his pattern. As it relates to drinking and then. Okay.
Coach.
Let's show you this. He did it for communication T. It's 2 photographs.
He's going 18 more minutes and couldn't.
Are those 2 pictures of your body?
Yes.
Did they show injuries to your body?
Yes.
Were those injuries caused by George Torres?
Yes.
Are those photographs a fair and accurate depiction of the injuries you sustained at the hands of George Torres?
On this occurrence, yes.
You remember this occurrence?
I don't so often.
You don't remember a specific day?
I don't.
But you're sure that that's you?
Yes.
Is that the injuries that he? What's the injury to the rib cage?
I don't remember specifically. These may be the pictures. So, when we used to go up to his brother's house, one of his brothers and his
Sustained.
Do you know what happened to? Did George cause these injuries?
Yes.
Or were y'all both drinking at that time?
I don't remember specifically.
Judge, I'd like to move this exhibit.
Okay. What was pre-marked as P will be received into evidence without objection as defense exhibit 2.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Did you accept? Thank you. Yes. You sign. Looks like I think there's a wheel on the top where you can use to.
Yeah.
People talk about George Torres.
Yeah.
And you're in the same incident Any issue?
Yeah.
Is that injury related to your lip injury?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah.
We'll show you identification. Identification Q. See if you recognize that program.
Yes.
Is that your thigh?
Yes.
Okay, you remember this incident?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury what happened?
I wanted to take my dogs for a walk and get off of the back porch.
You all drinking?
Yes. And he was upset that I would rather go walk my dog than sit there and continue to drink. So he slapped my thighs possibly hard as he possibly could and said that you're not going anywhere. And it was a good slap.
Boo-hoo, Sarah, boo-hoo.
Picture of the wound you suffered as a result of the mortuary lightning on top.
Yes.
Judge, I'd like to call you.
What was pre-marked as Q will be received into evidence without objection as defense 3.
And for the jury to say, is this the program that just mentioned?
Yes.
Let's show you identification, defense identification S. See if you recognize that photograph.
I do.
Is that your hand?
Yes.
Is that your blood on your hand?
It is.
Is that you standing, looks like in a room with flip flops?
It's in the kitchen at Brian's house.
Okay, what happened?
So George was there, and I went to leave, and he's notorious for taking my car keys and putting them around his neck, and my phone in his crotch here, and telling me to come get them. And I really wanted to leave because of how drunk, and I knew the escalation of his anger. I didn't want to be there when it was at its peak. So I tried to take my keys from around him because he kept talking me to take my keys, come get your keys. And so I attempted to go and get my keys. And so he ended up getting a butcher knife. And I had an opportunity to call Brian to come and help me, to come pick me up, to come get me. And of course, he brings my son with him. And so I'm in the parking lot asking Brian to please help me get my car keys away from him. And there's neighbors, and it's a scene at this point. And George comes to the overway in my townhome wielding the butcher knife, saying that no one's going to take her fucking keys. No one's going to fucking come into this house. And he's waving the butcher knife. And I walked up to him, and I just wanted to leave. And my little son, who was, I believe, 7 or 8 at the time, was screaming, "Give mommy her keys, give mommy her keys, let her leave." Brian.
All right, y'all. I am calling it. We at the 6 hour and 38-minute mark of 9:18. So tomorrow morning we're gonna make it into day 4. And it's the weekend, they're not working, so I think by Sunday it should be caught up. So when Monday comes, I could be abreast of things live. And hopefully the internet will be better, said 2 to 3 days before it comes. Hopefully the internet is better so that I could screen share. Truth, you got any why they do the trial live? Truth, you got any last words? You don't, she sleep. All right, y'all. To the next episode. We out. And it just stopped playing. That's weird. All right.
Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the thick bitch. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old, it's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm meant to coded. Memphis niggas spit this pimpin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Stay high, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Hop it, cook it, whip it, ship it, till you count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, oh, I need some more, nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach, I'm true geek. Walking by myself, but left with two freaks. Ooh, we, nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah, baby, this is groovy. You can call me money boy, or you can call me nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a two-piece. Top down, two-seater, let me feel the two breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island cause I like my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suitcase. Call me Ron Island cause I love my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suitcase. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Pussy ass nigga, Limp Biscuit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness.